Right, I think that's on. Loaf horse is the one. Sounds like the mic's working. Hopefully it doesn't start being a twat like it was last time. Will Holden Harrison, hello Mr. Wolf, long time no see. How's it going, dude? Good to have you joining us. Kenneth Russ, Wolf, hope all as well. I'm not too bad, cheers dude, how are you doing? So this game takes longer than I remember to load. Right. I got on here before the live stream, did a little bit of, well, I didn't get too into the missions, but just sort of got them set up a bit better. There's organised wood production, but that wants me to do a route from there, but it ends up going, you basically got to get across here. So I'm going to have to build some kind of road going through this swamp, which I don't mind doing that. I didn't really get to building it, but I got a dump truck nearby. I'm also going to have to fill that bit in. And I've also got a dozer nearby, which I'll get to in a sec. So that's basically like to get that mission going. I'm going to have to build a fat road. Let's clear the forest for new production, is it? Or construction, sorry. I've basically got each zone cleared apart from like one tree. More than anything, one, it's a bit of a boring mission. You just got to drive to each location and knock some stuff over. But the other reason is this mission was glitching on me before, so I did it before the stream, and then the only tree I've left like in the middle of this one is sort of in the middle where it was the ones near the edge that were being a bit glitchy and weird. I'm saying that. Hopefully that's not one. Well, we'll find out in a sec. Yeah, so that's kind of that one nearly done at least. And then the other one I've got to do at some point, the bloody cargo barrel things, whatever, damageable barrels, which I've got a lynx ready there. I'll just go and get them, I'll damage them and then bring them back. I can't even be arsed trying to move them anywhere without damaging them. So yeah, I've kind of got the missions a little bit ready to go. I may as well do this clear the forest one thing since I've kind of already selected it and I'm mostly done. By the way, when I brought this here, thankfully the base is only there. Every time I kept moving it, it kept saying cannot mulch here. Well, I don't know what it was catching on. Sorry if you hear my cat meowing in the background. I don't know how he manages to time it so well. Every time I'm editing a video, he'll appear just before I've finished editing, but that'll be like 5:30 in the morning. Like he sods off at about 10 at night. And most of the time just doesn't reappear until about 5 in the morning. And then for some reason, every time I'm doing a live stream, he knows, and at like 2 in the morning, he appears without fail. 5 minutes before I'm about to start, and starts wanting fuss and dinner and playing games and all sorts. I don't know how he picks his moments. Yeah, good. This was the main square that was like glitchy last time, hence why, yeah, the last tree I just left was in the middle. And then this one, I think there's only one more tree to do. Yeah, this one. Which again, I mean, yeah, long story short, tip over a load of trees. That one where the mulcher was, there is actually like several tree stumps rather than just trees, which is why I ended up taking the mulcher. I did take a vehicle, I think it might have been the mule or something, and it was eventually pushed a tree stump over, but it was taking the piss how long it was taking, so that's why I sent the mulcher over there. Right, so at least that's that mission out the way. Yeah, like I say, next I may as well just I can't do that until I've built a road. I might get to building a bit of a road. I can always stop and move on to another mission if I need to. I can track that, but Texas Demon, what's up, Wolf? How's it going, dude? River by choice, morning, mate. How's it going, man? Good morning. Well, about night time for me, but getting close to the morning. Well, not so much anymore, actually. Since the clocks have gone back, or whatever the hell they did. I know this is like a messy way of doing it, but if I drive in forwards, this thing might drown. Do you know what, actually? I don't know. Oh, yeah. It might. Either way. It goes messy because you just end up tipping like a big pile and then your truck sort of rides up over it and you get stuck and beached and then it pours a bigger pile. But once we get sundown and the dozer can go through there without drowning, then yeah, we'll get it sorted. Well, yeah, I've been, to be honest, kind of lost interest in Roadcraft or just don't have the urge. Yeah, same here to a degree. I have to say, since like having just chilling for a little bit, not last week, the week before, and then this week, I sort of feel more fine just chilling on the game for a bit. It was getting a bit like, yeah, again, I'm definitely glad I got the game, played the game, whatnot, but kind of just about got to the point where I was like, well, that's enough Roadcraft for now. Yeah, apologies last week. I did sort of have a migraine, but the full story was because I've got plates in my cheek and that, I get like the nerves in my face sometimes ache like mad, and for no apparent reason. It's not done it really for like, I get it every now and then like mildly, but it's not done it really bad for like a couple of years really. And then so Saturday morning it would be technically, like Friday night for me, but sort of Saturday morning. I went to bed and about an hour later I woke up and my face, my cheek was fucking killing me. And then it gives you like sort of toothache and it just sort of, they all sort of play off on each other. And yeah, by the time it was like near to doing the stream, I wouldn't say a full-on migraine, but between taking painkillers and not really going to sleep and just, yeah, generally feeling shit, I did have a bit of a rough headache and all the rest of it. But that's why I missed the live stream last week, because yeah, it's kind of been lasting. It's still doing it now, but not as bad. It's sort of more irritating now than outright ridiculously painful. Yeah, so that's like, again, typical sod's law. It's like, why did you pick Saturday? If it had just left it one more day, I could have at least got the stream done and whatnot. And yeah, like I say, it's not really done it for a couple of years, really. Like, the first, I don't know, say 600 videos I did on my channel, I wear my headset, like, on my head as normal. And since I got, like, the nerves and the toothache, cheekache kind of playing off each other, ever since then, I wear my headset. I still do now to this day. Like, I wear the left side is on my ear, the right side's, like, behind my ear. Because I don't know why, just sometimes that seemed to, like, irritate it. Apparently, like, when I broke my cheek and that, they were saying the nerve comes over, like, the top of your ear and then sort of spreads out, branches out, sort of under your eye and across your cheek and to your jaw and all the rest of it. Yeah, so sometimes wearing a headset kind of, like, pushes against the nerve and, I don't know, just sort of irritates it. But, yeah, for no apparent reason, like, there was no inkling it was going to happen. I just went to sleep-ish or near enough. And then about an hour later, kind of woke back up / came back round and was like, well, that's fucking painful. Rebel, Telemanus says that Roadcraft is going down the same road as Expedition. Downhill doesn't look good for Roadcraft. Yeah, that's not good then. Again, I don't think it's been a bad game, but one thing I think they've been too slow to address certain bugs. I actually think, just about like within days after I basically completed it, I think they did another patch. Yeah, because I think I finished it around 4.2 and it's now on 4.3. That smoothed out like a lot of the, I don't know, frame rate stuttering and all the rest of it. But yeah, there was certain bugs that they needed to get on a bit quicker. I think that probably didn't help. So yeah, hopefully they just realise the situation and just make SnowRunner 2. Because that's really what everybody's waiting for. Versus like Expedition and Roadcraft and all the rest of it. So one of them weird situations where they own like an intellectual property that's pretty much guaranteed to make money. Worst case, they make a terrible job of it. It'd still make money, but then people will probably be like, you know, once bitten, twice shy. Like, then the next one will probably be not so much. But at the minute, SnowRunner was a pretty good success. So it's a bit of a... just got to tap it in. Get the sequel out. And yeah, for some reason they're trying to make every other game except SnowRunner 2. Justin Lynch, hello, how's it going, dude? Thanks for joining us. New vehicles coming to Roadcraft a little late. Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, there's definitely... the game isn't as full and all the rest of it as SnowRunner is, which again, I do appreciate because there's a lot more different things in this game. Like, there is a fair amount of vehicles in this game. Certainly, when I did that video that reviewed all vehicles, when I had to buy each one and spawn them and park them somewhere, suddenly realised, like, it's not like there's 10 vehicles in the game. But because it's spread out over, like, yeah, dump trucks, mulchers, road building, pavers, rollers, it still ends up feeling like there's not that many vehicles in the game, because you end up sort of having like 1 or 2 vehicles per category that you like, really. Oh yeah, it sort of stops the... till I get back down to about there. You should be able to get around there. Let's just go flatten that a bit more. Rebel, I had a slight migraine today. Yeah, they suck when you get them. At least with them, for me, like, they still suck, but generally staying in the dark seems to help quite a bit. Well, that's the problem with, like, as far as making videos and live streams and whatnot. A migraine is, like, the one thing I really don't want to do while I've got a migraine is look at a bright screen or anything. Yeah, so that's kind of like the easiest way to help calm them down a bit for me. Rebel, another DLC coming. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'll be interested. I'll still check it out if they do add it, but yeah, just overall, like, again, I thought it's one of them, really, where I certainly don't dislike the game or anything. I just think it was like, yep, I've just about had enough of it. Got me fill. And yeah, that's why, well, I mean, I have messed around. What other game did I play? Oh, slight sidetrack, but I bought Alien Isolation on Steam because that was really cheap the other day. I was going to play that on probably potentially at the weekend last week, sort of around Halloween time, then yeah. Cheek ache, etc. decided to kick in. That's why in the end I said migraine, because when I was typing it, for one, I kept getting distracted and it was bloody hurting. I kept putting my phone down. But then when I was typing, I was like, yeah, my cheeks. And I was like, anyone who doesn't know I've had an operation on my face and that, will be like, what the fuck's he about? His cheeks are hurting. It's like some dodgy shit been going down. Sound like I'm in prison. Yeah, and then by the time it was getting later and later, and I was like, I need to put a message. And I was like, fuck it, I'll just say a migraine, it's easier to explain. Telly said November. Oh yeah, shit, we're already in November. It's mad how quick this year's gone. Like, considering... yeah, was it like basically February this year? My phone... Well, it was sort of... and last year, but I mean when I finally decided, like, right, I'll start looking for like, I'm going to build a PC and all the rest of it. And yeah, feels like a bit of a blur. I bought the PC, built the PC, did Roadcraft videos. And then now... not that far off Christmas. Oh yeah, just quickly, because I know what I'm doing, but for anyone that's not seen my normal video, yeah. So it wants a whatchamacallit, AI route. You can get to there pretty easily, but yeah, you got to get over this side. And there's no good options, really. Like, at some point or another, you're going to have to cross this swampy bit. And if you try and send the vehicles north, now you're going to have to try and cross these pipes, and it's just, yeah. What I did, and what I'll do again, is build a road kind of going along this swamp, and then sort of reconnect it there. And then just go up that way, across the dam, bring them over that way. I'll probably have to send, yeah, a bridge layer over to there. Which overall, I think building through this swamp, though, actually wasn't that bad. I think while I'm here, just quickly as well. I know they'll get stuck at some point, but I might just set the route up. Just to see, like, in case they do get stuck here for no apparent reason. They should get past. I think it is Vorons, so they're actually not that bad. Have to move that thing out of the way. They should be able to get across here without having to lay sand along here. And again, I know they'll get stuck, but they actually, so one of them got to around here when I did this mission on my normal playthrough. One of them actually almost made it before I'd even built the road. Something's been up here because there's tyre tracks digging in there. I wonder what that was. I don't think it was me. Unless they're just like that on the game when it starts. Yeah, come over this way, but for some reason they all kept hitting that lamppost. Right, again, they'll get stuck, but if nothing else, they'll get to, like, down here before they get stuck. So at least they're a bit closer than they otherwise would be. Rebel, crayfish, forwarder combined, plus tracks. And a Don 72 Malamute has an articulated bed. Fair enough. See how they work out. To be fair, the crayfish thing I don't think it's too bad. I don't know how much use I'll get out of it. Well, it depends what other missions they had. Obviously, again, sort of going back to, like, compared to SnowRunner. SnowRunner was definitely, like, a bigger game in general that took longer to go through all the maps and all the rest of it. But I don't necessarily think Roadcraft would have been saved, per se, if, I don't know, let's say they had the other DLC ready now to go, and then another one, like, if they were supplying the content, so to speak, I still think people probably would have just got a bit bored of it. And yeah, I don't even think it's like, it's not to do with like the game's bad or anything like that. I just think the concept of it is like, it is definitely fun for a while. Building your own roads is a cool idea, and it's a sort of idea I'd enjoy for no apparent reason if they added it to something like Grand Theft Auto 5. But I don't want it to be a feature of Grand Theft Auto, if you know what I mean. But if it just so happened you could do this, inevitably some of us at some point would be building roads going up Mount Chiliad or whatever, like just randomly over the map. It's kind of a nice feature to have as your own kind of side project in a game. See, one of the Vorons is going for it. One's gone arse over tit. Thankfully, there is one, the dump truck drives through here well enough, and two, there is a sand quarry radius over here, so you don't have to keep reversing out the swamp to go and get another load of sand. Rev on a tractor with a harvester thing. Yeah, fair enough. Like I say, when they come out, I'll certainly check them out. And yeah, like I was planning on sort of, I've got a couple of other games that I've got on Steam, like I got Red Dead Redemption 2 and what's that, Kingdom Come Deliverance thing. Then I got that Alien Isolation. I've got a couple of other games that I was in theory going to play, but yeah, this week I've done sweet fuck all, because since Saturday, yeah, felt like the right side of my face was somewhat on fire. Rebel, my mouth is getting better. Yeah, that's good news, man. I remember you saying last time you'd gone for an operation and that, hadn't you? I just saw you comment as well on the on YouTube saying about your doctor was giving you shit or something for staying up all night. Still getting a bollocking for that. Thinking all-nighter every now and then. It does you good. Not too many though. I've certainly noticed I could do them I could do them with my eyes closed. Just ironic for an insomniac. When I was younger. Well, I still can do them now. I suppose I do. Doing one right now, but yeah, I think I feel it more than I used to. I'm pretty deep there. That's what she said. Oh shit! Just make it out the other side. Don't stall the engine. So it's little things like that though. Like in SnowRunner, I still wouldn't want to stall the engine on principle, but in this game, it doesn't worry me like, strictly speaking, stalling the engine. It's the fact that to get another vehicle out here that will then pull this out, they haven't really given us a lot of choice in this game, particularly because they've cock-blocked the fact that like most vehicles don't have a winch. Like in theory, if I could bring another one of this truck and it had a winch, it could probably winch this vehicle out of that hole I nearly just got stuck in. But yeah, the way they've done it with this game, like I could bring scouts and stuff like that, and they'll just have no chance of pulling this thing out of a hole that's deep enough to drown it. And it's just little things like that. I think that's one thing SnowRunner did a hell of a lot of a better job at, was like, was part of the point was getting stuck. In this game, getting stuck really is like an inconvenient pain in the arse that you theoretically have vehicles that can get you out, but they're not, I don't know, nothing's very sensible or feels like as fun. Obviously, in SnowRunner, there's a goddamn horse of a vehicle to get yourself a loaf. He will rescue everyone every time. If you've got enough patience, he'll get anything anywhere. Yeah, that made it a lot of fun. That made it like, I liked driving fast and stuff because you might tip and crash, and then that's part of the like, right, then I'll send in the loaf and I'll save my bacon, and then I'll rebuild my little road train thing I've got going on, and I'll carry on with the mission. Whereas yeah, in this game it's definitely a lot more like, oh god, when you drown or something. Right, I'll leave it there for now. We'll send the this thing in, dozer. Again, I mean, I don't know how well it comes across on live stream, but these bits, I try and avoid like massive lengthy bits of road building in the videos and that, but I actually like do still quite like it. I could kind of sit here in autopilot mode, build a big fat road snaking all around the map. So again, the actual core of the game like that, I think they've done well, but yeah, I just think it's one of them games you do need a break from every now and then. Which is the same like Call of Duty. Well, I used to like that game. I don't like how they do like skill-based matchmaking and that these days. That ruins it. But still, running around like a headless chicken, every now and then you need a break from it and just go on to a different sort of game. But this is the sort of game that's like quite slow-paced. And yeah, every now and then I think you need something. That's kind of like when I played a bit of Wreckfest and whatnot. It's just, yeah. Or I did play a little bit of BeamNG last week. Did some of the rally stages and that, but that was fun because it was like, yeah, flying around at high speed, potential crashing. When you do crash, obviously on BeamNG, it was quite good, or very good crash mechanics and all the rest of it. So it was just something different as well. Kezi98, need new content. Yeah, I think most people have probably done it all by now, haven't they? I think a lot of people even completed like the main thing before they even got to like the first DLC. It kind of worked out about right for me. I think I had a few days where like I didn't make a video for a few days because I was waiting for the DLC. But yeah, by now I think most people have kind of done it all. Justin, yeah, I don't know how big a dev team on Roadcraft is compared to SnowRunner, but it'd be nice if they could set up the SnowRunner system of 4 DLC a year. Yeah. I don't think they will. Or not to say I don't think they will, but again, I think the numbers-wise, Roadcraft has probably dropped enough to where, like, I think to a degree, even SnowRunner can pull in more views still than Roadcraft probably could. I mean, that said, Expeditions is another one that certainly didn't do that well compared to SnowRunner, and I think they are still making stuff for that. So it's not like they completely abandon it as soon as it's, you know, not quite as big as they were hoping. At least they do still kind of support the game for a little bit. Will, hey, at least the AI route ain't semi-trucks. Yeah, exactly. I quite like the Vorons. I think they're pretty respectable for the AI route. The Vorons usually, for me, if anything, it's not that they can't get to where they're going. They seem to be the ones, for me, that have the biggest habit of just wandering off from the line that I've drawn. They'll gladly try and forge their own path through stuff, but at least they do, yeah, have a pretty decent chance of getting there. They make sense in this game. The semi-trucks really don't. Other than it's Roadcraft, and that's obviously their way of, like, basically forces you to build a proper, fully fledged road going, like, from wherever it is they decide that they're going to make you deliver semi-trucks. Which, I mean, even along here, because it's Vorons, I can just do this sand road. It's not going to, like, otherwise I'd have to bring the bloody paver and the roller, which are the two least enjoyable aspects. To be fair, the roller's not terrible. Both of them could do with, like, some kind of gear that's like a, you know, moving from A to B gear. A bit like the or this thing, yeah, got marching mode, so it doesn't force you to go this slow everywhere, whereas, like, the paver does. And the roller, yeah, it's a little bit quicker, but still could do with a bit more. Right. Let's see how far we get this time. It's not the neatest road, but I can always neaten it up if I need to. Let's see what they do. Should get to that. It's whether they'll get around that corner. Oh, yeah, I am still in radius. Oh, fully closed tipper. We'll see when they get it. If not, have to do it a little bit more. Ticking along nicely through here, though. So I like this aspect of Roadcraft more than SnowRunner. Is like, for example, the maps do feel a bit more alive, even with, like, stuff like this, and the fact that you can leave the routes ticking along in the background. There's definitely elements of this game that they can bring over to SnowRunner. SnowRunner does, like, a lot of the maps feel quite dead by comparison. They might be alright. I'll let them tick along for a bit. I may as well start with these barrels, and then it should pop up soon just saying that organised wood production is done. Go and get these stupid things. I don't know if you heard, but GTA 6 is delayed again, November the 19th, 2026. I didn't know when it had been delayed too, but I did hear it had been delayed. I mean, again, that's another one really. They've kind of missed the boat quite a lot on that one. I saw something of the month which kind of sums it up. I'm sure it was like the PS2 had 3 Grand Theft Autos, and Grand Theft Auto 5 has had 3 PlayStations, which is pretty bad. I mean, if Sony is putting out consoles quicker than they're putting out Grand Theft Auto games, and I wouldn't even particularly say Sony is like taking the piss. It's not like they're just releasing a new console every year for the sakes of it. I'm sure I already damaged it 3 times, but whatever. It's moving barrels the easy way. Rebel, what's the difference if you sleep night or day? Not sure, really. Probably more likely to howl at the moon. But, yeah, I mean, in theory, it shouldn't matter too much, but I suppose they say about your circadian rhythm and all that, but, I mean, mine seems pretty fucked up anyway if I don't seem to sleep well at night compared to the day. And yeah, apparently sunlight is good for you, which it probably is. But then, I do live in Britain, so it's not like I see a shitload of sun anyway. I probably still see more sun than Scottish people, just from the moonlight. Scottish people would love themselves a bit of moonlight. Where's the route, god damn it? How the hell did you fail there? Because they hit the bloody lamppost. Where the hell was I? So we got 1 barrel done anyway. As you can see, yeah, if you just forget the damage on the barrels, they're a lot easier. Which, I mean, again, it's one of them where I'm not against the idea of getting them there without damaging them, but they're so ridiculously, like, obnoxiously damageable. I just don't think it's worth it. I think if you try and commit yourself to getting the barrels there in one piece, you'll just get annoyed that it's either nigh on impossible, or at the very least, ridiculously trollish and annoying, and you'll have to go like obnoxiously slow and whatnot just to do it. I don't even think there'll be any satisfaction in doing it by that point. I wonder if that pipe will get stuck this time. I'll grab this one first, but I know it did last time. Nearly got caught, like nearly got stuck on that as well, really, because that wouldn't move for a day or two. Oh my god, they got stuck again. How the hell did they just send it across the swamp in one go? Oh, okay. I'll let them off. I forgot to put a bridge layer there. That is a good excuse. I'll give them that. Do I have any? I'll probably have bridge layers. Oh god, we haven't fixed that menu thing then. Oh, of course, they put the bridge layers right at the bottom. Rebel SnowRunner update is good. Is it? Yeah, is that 16, was it? So my mic hasn't gone funny, is it? No, it sounds alright. I can hear like some crackly feedback in my mic. I don't know if it's just on this game or... might just buy another one. What? Yeah. Yeah, it must have just been when I was in that menu. It's gone now. Rebel Season 16, oh yeah, Justin, sorry. Rebel Season 16, it was fine, not the best region, kind of boring and too much backtracking up and down the same roads. Yeah, it's one nice thing I did like about SnowRunner, like, the opposite of that, but I mean, like, SnowRunner does one or two things, but it does it really well, and you've got, I don't know, 10 to 50 different ways you can equip, like, the little setup you're going to take out to do the mission. I think that's where Roadcraft has kind of spread it a bit more thinly, where there's more stuff to do, but then there's less ways to do it, sort of thing, like averaged out. SnowRunner, considering it's in theory a very simple game, there's a lot of different ways you can tackle each mission. And yeah, I get a bit bored. If it's just going back up and down the same roads, that kind of does get a bit old. Which in theory, I suppose that's part of what this game tried to solve, was like you can then make your own routes. But it also depends on map design. If there's no other good routes, other than like what the game's sort of given you, then you're sort of back to square one anyway, where you'll just use the routes that are kind of obviously the best ones, rather than trying to bother building your own. An annoying place to put a pile of barrels. Just fucking move, will ya? Awkward bastard to go forward then. I know it's got them like plate things that dig into the ground, but still, it doesn't help. Revel, I'm on Sandswept, building roads everywhere. Yeah, that was quite a good map to build roads. I sort of liked those ones quite a lot, because at least part of this game fucks up with the scalper being a pain in the arse to deploy anywhere. At least the sandy maps kind of didn't really have that issue. I was going to say, is he going to kind of like ride over the edge? Turns out he is. Let's try that. Been better. I think they might manage it. Right, I know, yeah, there is a barrel around here somewhere. It is. Rebel, Justin Field, Season 16 is good, has right amount of on-off-road. New gateway is better. Like I say, I will get onto that game pretty soon. I sort of wanna... How long does it take? I'll have to look between, like... Because I've sort of missed Season 16 as in, like, doing videos on it when it's just come out. I wouldn't mind sort of getting on it, like, before 17. But I don't know, I wouldn't mind seeing when 17 comes out. Like, I don't want to necessarily be too early before 17. So then I can get some stuff done on it, and then obviously as 17 comes out, and Year 5 and all the rest of it, kind of pick up with that really, and then if I get ahead before, like, say 18 comes out, then I can go back to some of the sort of older maps that I've missed, which is more like 13, 14, 15, 16, those sort of seasons. And yeah, should work out quite nicely. Rebel, Expedition is done in November. What do you mean done? Is what, like, that's the last thing they're doing for it, like update or anything? Let's just see if I can knock this. It knocks it, but it looks like it wants to get wedged. Yeah. It's such a trollish pipe. Justin, well I'm already done. New gateway doesn't help me. Roadcraft is still the second biggest game next to SnowRunner, so I don't think it's going away for a while. Telly just said it could be starting to teeter if Saber don't step it up a bit. Yeah, I certainly think it did better than Expeditions. I mean, again, I've not really played Expeditions in a while. I've heard it's improved in some ways, which I'm sure it has. Like, one of the biggest mistakes I think they did with Expeditions, like I said, starting on that map where it was a lot of canyons that aren't really deformable terrain and all the rest of it. I don't know if that was the best idea versus, like, the second map felt more at home, a bit like SnowRunner, but obviously with the Expedition twist to it. But then by the time I got onto that, mine just kept blue screening like 4 or 5 times a night and losing all my progress. And yeah, kind of quickly got sick of it because of that. Which I'm sure that's probably not as bad as it was back then. Yeah, so I'd imagine, yeah, it's like SnowRunner's kind of quite comfortably the biggest game. And then, yeah, I'd imagine this second and then Expeditions third. Unless I suppose there is that rallying game as well. I've not tried it. I don't know where that would fit into the scheme of things. Somewhere around Expeditions, I'd imagine. Not that I heard bad things about it, I just don't think it was a big game particularly. I said this last time, like, you have to attach a winch to it and then it immediately fires itself out of the water and takes damage. Like, I don't even know how you're supposed to stop that from happening. Obviously it's going to take damage there, but there's another thing that is, like, not as smooth with this game as these stupid winches. Like, just make them grab things that are within radius instead of being a twat and having like an X on there half the time. There's a lot of simple ways this game could help itself not be as annoying in certain aspects. Justin Lynch, yeah, Expeditions ending. Yeah, fair enough. Still, I mean, it's been a good couple of years now, isn't it? Will, to be honest, I can't believe this mission is that stupid. I'm the one who saw your first video on it. Like, this makes SnowRunner damage look generous. Yeah, it is just a complete annoying troll. It certainly just makes... It's just a lot less stressful to do it this way. Like, yep, fuck it, I'll damage it. I don't really care if I lose some kind of bonus. It's better than being driven mad by a pretty unfair rigged damage system. I mean, yeah, like you say, it's been a while since it's been on SnowRunner, but particularly when they changed the damage on the SnowRunner and it was like you suddenly clip your tyre on a curb and it absolutely detonates your entire suspension and wheels and all the rest of it. Probably take your fuel tank with it and all sorts. Yeah, this is even worse. And yeah, I mean, doing it the way I've done it now, I've got to sort of drive back and forth 3 or 4 times, but to be honest, if you took a mule or something, you could throw them all into the sideboard. But I think sort of driving back and forth to the... Well, you don't go around in a loop. The problem is, I should have showed it while they were there, but one barrel was over here, but then the second one was over here, so you have to get past this pipe, which means if you just wanted to come and loop around, you could actually knock that bit of pipe out of the way. But then, like, you got to get over to this section. It just ends up, like, it being not really that much more difficult or lengthy to just go to each one individually, instead of just going around with a like a mule and trying to get all 4 in one swoop and then take them back there. Something like that. I ended up going through the trees last time, but on the way back I kind of noticed the trees thin out a bit over here, so it's probably quicker than trying to knock 20 trees down. Does anyone remember the game called 4x4 Evo 2? I don't know why it just reminded me as like, I suppose it is a fairly on-topic kind of game. It was like an off-roading game back in the day, but you could sort of, I can't even remember, I think you did races or got to locations, and it was kind of an open world game-ish, from what I remember, although it's vague. And then obviously as you made more money, you buy different vehicles, upgrade like your gearboxes and wheels and suspension, and it was a bloody good game back in the day. Bring something like that back. There's so many old school games they need to bring back. I don't remember climbing up there last time. Yeah, there's not really much point. You need an option in this game to like raise your seat up a bit so you can see a little bit better over the bonnet. So one good thing they kind of overlooked in this game, if you get near walls, they haven't got trees most of the time anyway. You've already got a nice little free run next to the outskirts of facilities that they've put down. Imagine if I rolled it now. Wolf's, there's no bridge. Just fly over it. Exactly. Dukes of Hazzard style. Lazy bastards. Should have painted him red. Got a, was it, Confederate flag on the roof. Got a Dixie horn, and they could have made it. They just had to believe like Neo did in the Matrix. So, well, that one looks fairly simple. Resources. Have I already built the road? When did I do that? I hate how it jumps off the menu. Oh yeah, I think it was that road. Yeah, I'll probably end up buying these resources again. I mean, the logs aren't too hard to get. They're also pretty easy to buy. Then again, I haven't got as much money. I do get a bit frivolous with my money on my normal playthrough since I've got like 14 million or whatever it is. Suppose we'll head there. What we got? Oh, the goddamn horse. We'll definitely head in there with a horse. I was waiting for this moment. Yeah, Rebel, that's why SnowRunner is a great game to keep starting over with New Game Plus. Yeah, I've still not got around to that yet. Maybe one day. Still got to get me first playthrough done. Been lagging behind on SnowRunner. Like I said, I'm nearly back to like, I think it is, yeah, 58%. I think it had added season 16 by then. If not, then it'll be even a little less than that. And obviously when year 5 and that comes out, it's going to drop again, so I've got quite a bit to catch up on. Rebel, you need to start where you left off. You could get caught up by the time year 5 comes out. yeah, I'll definitely be starting basically where I left off. Or again, yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know whether to, like... I mean, like, I'm going to be doing the same playthrough and all the rest of it. Yeah, I don't know whether to jump ahead on some bits. Even though if I do, I'll still go back and, like, revisit it. It depends really what vehicles are in each season, because obviously if I can go and unlock them sooner rather than later, then I've also got those vehicles that I can go back on to previous seasons and all the rest of it. But we'll see. When I get on it, I'll figure it out. Rebel, yeah, they're not doing more Expedition after November. Shit, it's a post. Yeah, game's in the bag then. Wouldn't mind seeing what the numbers are on that game, like how many are still playing it and all the rest of it. I'm sure they know, but they never really release the figures. Roadcraft and Expedition has around the same numbers per day of players. Oh, does it? Oh, can you actually check how many there is? Yeah, I think this game probably did a bit better at the start, maybe. But I think it sort of fell off a bit harder as well. Oh yeah, so you need another bridge layer there. Laying a cable. If I remember, the cable actually isn't that bad. Well, ish. I mean, it went fairly well last time. I remember I had to kind of cut along the edge of a swamp through some trees. It wasn't too bad, but I know this vehicle has a habit of not turning very well when you're actually laying the cable, so we'll see. We're about to find out. Rebel, money is the root of all evil. You can enjoy a game not worrying about money. Yeah, true. No, I agree. Just in general, money, certainly, if it's not the root of all evil, certainly brings it out in a lot of people. And then, yeah, I've, like, having the 40 million or whatever on my normal playthrough, it has been nice just not having to worry about which vehicle I buy. Whereas, yeah, kind of, to a degree, it's not been too bad, but there's definitely got to be a bit more money management on this playthrough. I've certainly not just frivolously bought vehicles as much as I normally would. I mean, in some games, money management and all the rest of it is not a bad idea. I wouldn't say it's a bad idea in this game, but to a degree, yeah. I also don't really care about it. Like, if I do start a new playthrough or whatever, I probably will end up turning, like, the modifiers on where it just makes vehicles free as soon as you get them, so you don't really have to worry about the money. Because in the grand scheme of things, a lot of times for convenience, I just want to buy vehicles, use them in a video, do whatever. Kind of helps speed that up instead of having to, like, figure out where you left the last vehicle and whatnot. I just thought I was kind of dropping the hammer. Not too bad. I need to start laying the cable there. Yeah, I think I kind of roughly came through this way last time. I remember I cut across a little bit of the swamp at the last minute. So I'm just going to back it up a bit. At least I didn't go like half a mile down the road before I realised. Rebel, in SnowRunner, get service, money mod and get 1 million Dreamcatcher and a doggy bobblehead with 800 repair points and 900 litres of fuel. Yeah, exactly. And once I got all that sort of stuff, I think it was eventually when they added like the money mod in SnowRunner. Just, yeah, I think I spawned like 40, 50 mil or whatever it was. And then it's just hassle-free. Buy as many loafs as you want, as many Bruces. Yeah, just all the stuff though, without having to like faff around and think, oh right, now I've got to sell that to buy this. I had to do like the beginning of SnowRunner when I was doing like the gameplay and review of different vehicles. I was kind of buying one, reviewing it, and then having to sell it to be able to buy the next vehicle and so on. And to a degree, I kind of like, once I bought a vehicle, I sort of like to keep it. And in the scheme of things, it's only like in an inevitability that I can sell stuff I've already bought and then buy a different vehicle. But yeah, it's only kind of dragging out the inevitable fact that I'm going to end up owning every vehicle. Turn it now, it's just turning on its own as it tends to do. This spool cable thing at the front does knock trees over pretty conveniently. I think as well, in this map in particular, they left too many like unkillable trees in this map. There's a lot of routes that you could theoretically do, but then you can't because there's like trees in the way. Like a good example is this base here. Kind of, for one, they've put the wall in a stupid place. It should have been over here. You can go down that bit. I nearly, you can see earlier, like, was building a sand road this way, but there's so many of these big trees you can't knock out the way. Even though you can knock most of the trees, there's still too many unkillable ones in the way, so I just kind of abandoned the mission at that point. And it's the same along here, like all these on my left are not killable, which makes it a bit more awkward than it needs to be. Yeah, and I'm sure somewhere along here I kind of just cut through the swamp. I mean, to be fair to this vehicle, it's actually, the swamps are one of the places it seems to drive through the best. It's normally kind of boggy enough that you can actually steer and all sorts. Bill Ray, hi mate, how's it going, dude? I got to the last quest and it glitched on me and now it's not working. Yeah, that's not good. What is the last quest? Just trying to think off the top of my head. What I tend to do, but I don't know if it'll be too late now as such, is like turn the game off without closing the game. I just click on like the tab and force it closed so it doesn't save my progress and I sort of get another chance. Yeah, it depends how it's glitched really. But yeah, that's certainly not good. I'd be pretty pissed off if I got to like the last mission and it did that. Rebel, get SE mods for SnowRunner. I might already have them. I'm not sure. Obviously, there's going to be a gap though, like where I've not downloaded like the newest ones or whatever. But I know I've got quite a few on there. I remember this last time. It just won't lay the cable at the last little bit. And yeah, that's another thing. Like on this game, they should have a bit like the overlay you get where you can see where sand quarries and that are. An overlay to say where you can lay the cables, because I don't, like, it's just telling me I can't lay a cable here, but I don't know why. Or I do, obviously, because the game's decided there's like a rock under the ground or whatever. But how am I supposed to know that? Or avoid it or anything? So there's no kind of like common sense planning to lay in these cables. You just kind of aim to where you've got to lay them and hope it's not going to say there's an unbreakable surface. But there's no real way of knowing. Obviously some are going to be obvious. I know I won't be able to lay a cable over these rocks. Yeah, but some of them not so obvious. Right, well, I mean, again, I'm going to have to send in a bridge layer. It's going to start costing a lot in bridge layers. What have I actually done with all my other bridge layers? Got to be on here somewhere. Right, there's apparently 4 of them. Right, well that one's being used. That one just doesn't have a bridge. I mean, that one's being used there. And that one's being used there, so I may as well just buy another one, really. Trying to think which base. There's either that base. It's probably just going to be as awkward, yeah, and they're just falling off. So just buy another one. Another 82. So I'm already like, I could buy one more bridge layer and then I'm kind of skint at that point. Rebel Roadcraft, oh sorry, I saw, was it about 2,700 a day? And is that SnowRunner 6,500? Yeah, that's still doing pretty well, isn't it, really? Considering how old the game is. The Real Kestrel, hi Wolf, greets as usual from Canada. How's it going, dude? Good to have you joining us. You're having fun in Canada? Rebel, I've got over that. By the way, I just that sounded sarcastic, but it wasn't. Just for some reason, it sounded like that. Rebel, I've got over 250 million on my SnowRunner. Yeah, that's more like it. I should keep you going for a while. Got to ride out a recession or two. I might just be lazy and drive over here. Do. Run and J, lol, buy all the loaves you want. Thanks, Mr. Wolf. You like them loaves? I'm sure I had over 100 on SnowRunner. I think I needed them all. In fact, I'm gonna need more. I already know it. Can never have too many loaves on SnowRunner. Can't believe they've only restricted us to 1 loaf on this game. Although I think they know. It'd be a bit OP if you could just buy loaves on Roadcraft. Especially like, technically the loaf we've got is like the rusty version. Can't even buy a brand newie from the shop. Rebel Loaf has a new skin already. Oh, does he? Have to check that one out. Just Lynch, new update on SnowRunner. The Scout 800 is now the new loaf. Is that 8 or whatever? Balance, crawler suspension, and now carries more fuel and repair. Yes, the Scout. Oh yeah, I know which one you mean. Yeah, I'll have to test it out. It still won't replace me loaf. There's many reasons the loaf is a goddamn horse of a vehicle. But it sounds like it's going to be more useful than it used to be. Rebel 1500 also got an update. Bill Ray is the one you have to run the route to the oil rig. Is that like the AI route? Oh, is it getting stuck in the tunnel? It didn't happen to me, but it could still do on this playthrough. By the skin of my teeth, I kind of scraped off the barrier on my normal playthrough. And yeah, I ended up taking like a weird route. But I was kind of like... A few people have said in that video that I did it the wrong way as such. And I wasn't saying I didn't do it the wrong way. I was more trying to prove the point that if the scalper deployed, what took me hours to do would have took me more like 20 minutes, but because the scalper's a pain in the ass, it made the way I wanted to do it kind of take a lot longer. But yeah, I took them on like some kind of weird route. But thankfully they did get out of the bridge. Justin Lynch, Marshall as well, 70 litre tank now. Yeah, they changed that a while back, because I think when the game originally came out it had 70 litres. Then for some reason loads of people were complaining that the Marshall was overpowered, which it really wasn't, because it tipped every 30 seconds if you're lucky. And you ended up getting stuck more than it was like really worth driving the thing, but for some reason they took a lot of heat for it, so they nerfed the Marshall down to like 32 litres or something, or whatever it was. Something to where it was like, it really couldn't get very far. That was before it even like tipped or everything. It just couldn't get very far before it needed fuel anyway. And then after, yeah, a good old while, they actually patched it kind of back to what it was. It took a bit of a hit. If I remember correctly, I think they rebalanced the Marshall as well, and it actually was like not a tippy mess either. It's probably actually like semi-usable. Which is good, because like I say, I use the loaf. There's still, I could give you a million reasons why I'm still going to use the loaf. But at least it's like, if they're making some effort for other scouts to actually have some use to them as well. Because for the most part on SnowRunner, trucks are the better option. Like, you don't really gain much by taking a scout. You just don't have cranes and the ability to carry cargo and all the rest of it. Rebel can't also pull trailers. Yeah, is that the Marshall thing? Because loaf, he's a Khan loaf. Alright, then you should get over that. Be that one done. Oh yeah, I think this is where we probably buy some supplies. I mean, yeah, I've got none of any supply. Like, again, I can go here, but I have to craft beams. I don't mind crafting the beams, but it'd be nice if you could store them from here. Once I craft them, I'm then going to have to either drive them all the way over here, or drive them down to that base and store them. Which is no point. At that point, I may as well drive them over. Or I can just buy everything here and drive up and across. Which does sound like not a bad idea. What have we got down here? Where is the no, I did have a mule somewhere nearby. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, because I brought it to knock the trees over it. Yeah, it just wasn't very good at knocking trees over. Something's done. Does that actually unlock any more objectives? No, so I've only got this one. Yeah, like I say, I think I'm just going to go and buy them at this point. Should have enough money, I mean. Oh yeah, that too. 745C and 770G now have add-ons. Oh, do they? Yeah, because they were a bit sparse last time, I remember. I think they had like a fuel add-on and that, but they weren't that useful in the scheme of things. A little bit of a shortcut through there-ish. Actually poured a bit more sand here earlier and smoothed it out, so there was a bit more of a lip on there last time, but it's not as bad now. 745 also has trailers now. Oh, does it? Yeah, we'll get them done first. And then I'll spawn the logs. I just don't want to spawn the logs yet, because I'm pretty sure it'll spawn them probably laying across all this cargo. And then it won't let you pick the stuff up underneath, because there's a log laying on top of it. And I may as well load these in first, then put the slabs, or the, sorry, the beam. In fact, I do remember though. No. Why does the game just switch? What it is you're grabbing at the last second. Yeah, I might put one or two of these on my roof, because I remember last time it was kind of like unnecessarily heavy at the back, but there wasn't really anything weighing me down at the front. These cranes were a bit stronger. Three is normally quite good. Three just, the crane sandwiches them down quite well. I remember last time, I think I lay them this way, because then it was easier to kind of lay the logs on top of them. I think I did. Rebel, on top messages on number 1, on all messages on number 2. Now number 1. Yeah, true, you are at the minute. Oh, I just missed that one, now I've got to go right through them again. Bill Ray, yes, it didn't even come out of the tunnel. I'm not sure what the solution is to that as such, but I am surely they've got to be doing something, which I'm astonished they haven't fixed it yet. Because you're not the only, like, that's how I've heard about the bug. It's happened to other people as well, which I know isn't, like, great news, but at least if you know other people are getting the bug, you're not, like, the 1 in a million unlucky one that's got it. They should be doing something to sort that out, because it's obviously affecting, like, a fair few people, I think, because I've heard it from more than one person. I've heard it quite a few times now, so yeah, I don't know how they haven't already. Seems like a very easy fix, really. They've just got to stop it, kind of. I assume it's catching on like the barrier thing in the middle of the tunnel, which again they were for me, but thankfully they just kind of scraped against it, but did actually like manage to scrape past it basically. But Only just. And yeah, seems like a very easy thing to fix, really, in the scheme of things. I mean, that's where they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot a bit with Roadcraft, because there is certain bugs that they're just not quick enough to sort out, and it is a bit kind of game breaking and annoying. Well, in that sense, like literally game breaking. And I mean, there was a couple of times on this DLC that I got stuck, that knocking the 3 patches of trees over earlier. Yeah, almost. I think there's 2 different AI routes that come out of that tunnel. And both of them, for me, almost got stuck, but again, thankfully didn't. And then, like, grabbing those barrels earlier, one of the pipes I tried knocking out the way. That appears to have got stuck again, which, in theory, I can't finish that mission until I can get the pipe unstuck, which... I don't know, I ended up parking like a Bicel dump truck on it, and then the next day when it must have loaded the game back up, it kind of just moved the pipe enough. But yeah, that was kind of a bit of luck, really. Yeah, kind of pinch these down with a crane. I'm not going to bother this time, but I could have tried loading up some pipes as well, because there are some pipes that do need fixing, but I don't think I'll be able to get all 4 pipes on without it being like a tippy awkward mess. So I'm gonna have to come back at some point and buy more pipes, so I may as well just skip it this time. Right, anyway, so I'm gonna head... I think, to be honest, I might just follow this road all the way up. If I remember correctly, yeah, I then came down here and then just drove along the edge of that building and pop out somewhere down here, and then it was a bit awkward going through here, but then you get to there. And it is, yeah, 5, 5 and 5, and I've already built the road. And it should be simpler than it was when I did the video on it, just because I've put 3 slabs on the roof, which obviously balances the weight out a hell of a lot more. Last time I had all 15 items just packed in the back. That's what she said. Yeah, and it was obviously near enough making me wheelie constantly and tip over every 2 seconds. But through the magic of editing, I was able to cut most of it out. Yeah, it didn't even come out of the tunnel. Did they appear, or did they not even, like, get that far? I don't even know if there's a way, like, if you could put a crane there and try to latch onto them and move them. I don't know, but it's definitely a bit of a fuck up on their part, because again, I've heard a fair few people now say the same thing, so it's obviously affecting like a pretty decent portion of the player base. Marshall went from 80 litres to 40 to now 70. Oh, was it? Fair enough, but still, yeah, a bit closer. 40 or whatever was like just too low. By the time you sort of got anywhere, you'd already near enough run out at that point. It's easy, I think, to just drive next to the road than the actual road. No, he says when it starts wobbling over to the left quite a bit. Rebel, cranes need to be stronger and longer. That's what Kelly said. Bring Kelly back. Yeah, you know about in this game or SnowRunner? I was going to say last I remember on SnowRunner they could do with a bit of a boost as well. But yeah, in both games really, I just want the cranes to function. I think they're trying to be a bit too realistic for their own good sometimes. Might be able to get out of it. I'll have to send in the loaf. Probably going to have to tip them bastards back though. least now, because all the other cargo's packed, it actually just goes through these 3 pieces. I don't have to rotate through the entire sideboard. After all that, we might just tip anyway. Let's lean it over that way a bit more. Shit, no. Not that. Get out. Crane menu. I kind of want to go over this way because I think that just banks too much to the left. Oh, for God's sake. I might just have to send in the loaf. I could get back out of this, but I can't really be arsed. Just keep moving it. Where was the loaf? Oh yeah, he's only up here anyway. Goddamn horse. Planted himself where he needs to be. Bill Ray, yes, there is a massive list of people with the same problem on Steam, foreign boards. They're just taking that time to fix it. Yeah, I can't believe it's taken them that long. I think all they have to do, really, is just readjust the AI route. It's basically like they've drawn a bad AI route and it gets stuck on the bridge. So it doesn't even seem like a big fix or anything. Or they could just make like that barrier in the bridge, like not a hitbox. I think I made it through here last time. Even when I had like a more unbalanced mule. Seems to be tipping quite easy today. I think I got it like up sort of to the top of the hill before it started tipping for me last time. Why you get yourself a loaf? Uh, 745 now as a fuel tank, the old one. Maintenance bed, new. Crane bed, old. Shit, nearly tipped again. Cargo bed, new. Medium log bed, old. Cat wires, was that tyres? New. Saddle high, new. And hitch trailers, yeah, that's pretty good. Definitely more usable. There were some vehicles, yeah, they just unnecessarily kind of cock-blocked in that game. Not cock-block, well, yeah, sort of. They just didn't make them very, yeah, usable. And there wasn't really any need for it. Oh, that's my cable layer. I was wondering what they're like. What the hell is that? Well, I might have to send in the loaf again. But we'll at least give this thing a chance of making its own way. could do with moving these slabs. See, another thing, like in SnowRunner, I'll be able to reach that middle slab. But on this, I can't, so I've kind of got to throw that one off to move that one. Whereas, yeah, again, in SnowRunner, I'd be able to just, like, get the middle one, I'm pretty certain I could anyway, and then lift both of them. Still feels quite tippy. It doesn't seem that bad. Typical. Wanker. Really? Right. So I will win that one. I did. It's 770. Sorry. It has special saddle, old fuel tank, old maintenance bed, new, and saddle high, new. At least got the saddle high, so that opens up all the trailer options. Lizzie 40F truck not getting stuck in the tunnel, they just don't spawn. It happened to me for the second time, so I just gave up on the map. Fair enough, yeah, so they don't even appear, like, which is sort of worse in a way, because then, yeah, you can't even, like, take a crane and try and sort of wing it. Again, for me, they spawn, but yeah, they scrape and catch on, like, the barriers that are in the middle, and sort of get stuck, but eventually they kind of reverse and bump and bounce themselves past it. But again, only, like, I could just as easily see them getting stuck anyway, but yeah, if your ones aren't even appearing in the first place, then you are kind of royally screwed before you even get a chance to try and figure something out. But yeah, that's pretty bad how long it's taken them to fix it in that case, because there's clearly been a bug, like, well, I assume since this DLC came out. I heard of it probably, got to be easy a good 6 weeks ago. Probably more than that, to be honest. Obviously, some people just kind of like raced ahead pretty quick and were at the end of the game within like a week or so of the DLC coming out. So it was, it seemed to be flagged and noticed kind of pretty early on. But the fact that there's something that simple and they haven't even found a way to fix it yet. Is, yeah, pretty slack of them. Bill Ray, the voice came out that they were coming out, but there was nothing there. You can't even see them if you look up the tunnel. That's what she said. It's pretty bad when you get lost in the tunnel. Gets the best of us. Well, that's the kind of shit that you should be, like, entitled to a full refund if they haven't fixed that within a certain amount of time, which I think should be less time than they've already taken. I mean, I've said it before, I don't like governments for just about anything, but that's the kind of shit the government should be saying, like, if you don't fix that bug with the game you sold people on the condition it didn't have a game-breaking bug, then we're going to fine your company like 100 million. So in other words, you best hire the people necessary to fix it ASAP, otherwise we'll make sure, on principle, that it costs your company more than the penny pinching is worth. Because inevitably with those sort of things, like, they could, I'm not saying this is an excuse for them, but they could say there's like a staff shortage and they haven't got, you know, like, they're working on it. And it's like, yeah, but if you hired another 100 people to work on it, you'd get it done quicker. Because I always remember, and it stuck with me, the bloody Call of Duty games, they've got glitches galore, like, when they come out, which, again, they, in fairness, they get on them fairly quickly, but still takes on a scale of weeks. And then I remember there was a glitch once with a shop, and you couldn't buy stuff, and they fixed that motherfucker within about 8 hours. And it was obviously like, because once they realised that, oh shit, no one can spend money, like, yeah, they had it fixed within, like, the day. Whereas when it comes to a bug that just annoys everyone but doesn't directly stop you being able to buy stuff, they seem to take a lot longer. Like, I'm sure if there was a bug where you couldn't even buy the DLC, I bet they would have fixed it a lot quicker than now. Well, and they still haven't obviously fixed that, the AI tunnel thing going on. But yeah, if it was affecting the actual profit margins, I bet they would. But that's where they're sort of stupid in that way, because it is affecting it, because certainly if someone asked me at the minute, is it worth buying the DLC? That's sort of whether I'm going to say, yeah, you know, that like, if you like the game and whatnot, but I would definitely say at the minute, yeah, I'd just hold fire at the minute, because there's a bug. And at that point, you may as well wait and until they either fix the bug or the game comes on some kind of sale, so it'd be like a lot cheaper to get it. You may as well sort of wait at that point if you can't finish the game anyway. Oh, in fact, here we go. This is what I was trying to get to last week. So we've got one coming out of the tunnel now, so I could in fact get stuck on this. Although, if I remember correctly, yeah, there is 2 different AI routes that I think come out of there, so you lot might have already got past this one, like it might have actually spawned this one. Well, they exist, which is a good start. But you'll see there, see, like, he's getting caught on that barrier. Not too bad. Last time they were sort of scraping on it and getting stuck there for about 30 seconds each. Is there another one? See, look, they immediately start turning towards the middle and there's no need for it. There you go. Like, he's basically got caught, but luckily then bounces off it. But they're sort of getting like their fuel tank or whatever sort of caught on it. And like, they start the point there, so it's not even like I can't draw the line, say, further over here. Even if I did, they're still going to spawn and they're already trying to turn to that middle point, and then they get caught on that gate. So there's not even anything I could do to stop that, but obviously if it's not even appearing for you guys, that's like, yeah, you're fucked. You can't really do anything about it. Right, I'm going to have to wait for them to get there, because I've got no other missions. Oh, in fact, there you go, like, that's the route I think I'm currently doing. It's not unlocked the mission for it yet, but it says there, I could already draw, like, the... Oh no, that's coming from there. Oh, wait. Why has it already got a line drawn? Oh, I probably tried just drawing a line last week. To see if I could get it to, like, appear and get stuck. Which I'm not even sure what to do with this route. Some people are saying they kind of brought it through here, but I don't really like... There's like a 90-degree turn on a bridge here, and then it's there that you got to get the point to. I'll send a vehicle over there in a minute. I'll have to uncover all these clouds. I'm assuming in a minute it should unlock a mission that I've got to head up that way, and then that should hopefully get rid of the clouds. But I can't even like see the destination point of this route yet. Oh yeah, fucking hell. Not got a chance in hell of getting a semi-truck across there. Well, without some extra encouragement. Like, where is it? I mean, it faces it that way, so I'm assuming it does want you to go this way. I mean, yeah, I'm just going to have to pretty much go around the top. I mean, the loaf, I'm probably going to have to send him in. coming up to that quest on this map, so let's see if it works for you. I hope it does. Yeah, well that first one worked. Once I get the clouds here kind of unlocked, so I can see where I need to draw that line to, I'll draw it just because then they should set off, and then we'll figure it out. So in fact, before I go that way, I'll go into here and uncover the clouds so I can actually get that line drawn, and yeah, we'll see if it does. Rebel, thanks for fixing those slabs. My OCD was rising. It's all good, man. I must admit, I did notice it a bit myself. It was more for balance reasons, but yeah. Do get a bit of the old OCD every now and then as well. Oh yeah, I brought the links last time. Kind of drove up the wall. Oh shit, literally. This loaf can go up here. Thinking about it. Yeah, it's over there. Yeah, for some reason it I just went in low gear and it got a lot slippier. I don't know what that's about. If I just... Oh, for fuck's sake, it's just that cloud I want to uncover. No, not that button. I don't know if that does work, but I sometimes just, in hopes that it might, I fire that off. Hoping that it'll, like, uncover a bit more cloud. I mean, come on. I already have driven it up here in a loaf, so it should get up here. I didn't plan on going backwards, but it's the way it panned out. This goddamn horse. You will figure it out. Right. Okay. I mean, the fact they want another bridge layer there. But like I say, it's that 90-degree corner I'm not keen on. While I'm here with the loaf though, recover. Might call a lynx nearby. Where did it spawn? There it is. Will it let me draw that route now? Why is it not showing me like the destination point of it? Well, I'm probably gonna have to retrieve that thing then. Right, well, I'll go and get this vehicle done then. Yeah, I thought, like, once I get that uncovered, it'd let me, draw that line. For some reason it isn't. I'm assuming if I get this vehicle delivered, it's got to unlock it sooner or later, because I'm kind of coming up to where these are, like, the only missions left, really. mud. It's actually stopped me dead. I don't even think it's stuck per se. I think I'm like glitched on something. It's like absolutely sort of locked me solid. That's what she said. That's weird. I didn't even notice last time that it was any weird mud around here. I don't even know if it is. Or is it just because I come flying down there at a weird angle? I don't actually know. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, it is chewing it up again. Last time I come over here, I brought like the what you call it, bicycle thing, and dumped a load of sand. Obviously built like a ramp going up there. I never noticed the mud sort of doing that. God knows I'll skip along the edge of here anyway. There's a road here. But yeah, I just never noticed that last time. Justin, no, I did not mean cat ties. 745 now has a useless visual mod called cat wires. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, it's pretty random. I'll have to check it out. Lizzie40F hard mode is great. Free trucks and full coverage of sand, no scalper needed. Yeah, exactly. It's definitely like. I wish I could adjust it in this game, because I already would. Well, I mean like in this playthrough. Particularly the scalpers, and like the manual gearboxes as well. Speaking of, I can't even remember if I tried the loaf with the manual gearbox on the other playthrough. I did start a playthrough so I could try the gearboxes out. Am I in the same play? It's like, I swear it was, the mud just seems like boggier and more awkward this time than it was. Or what did I drive through here earlier? Was it the mule? It was weird, like when I pulled on the winch there, it's like I'm only pulling on the winch for a split second. Well, I'm not really doing it now because it's hitting that tree, but it was kind of skidding me along. I don't know, almost like I was on ice there. Not as in like, it's not like I'm mud stuck, it's like I'm traction stuck, like as if I'm just skidding on nothing. Which is a bit odd. Fuck knows. That's the thing, I've got to try and get to the other side. Right. Well, I may as well cut along there then. Where am I going? Down there. Yeah, unless they plan on us building a road, like, along there. I don't know how they were thinking the semi-truck was ever going to make this route. Which, yeah, long story short, it isn't. Even if, like, again, at least in SnowRunner, you'd have a winch whilst driving the semi-truck. So you could at least drag yourself from tree to tree or something. Should I keep kind of skidding sideways down the hill? Which I don't really want to do just yet. Well, the loaf will be alright, but then it makes the semi-truck skid to the right, and that's going to catch a tree. Which I don't want to do. Like so. I don't know why, the mud seems weird. Like, I don't know if they've changed it for if it's just the loaf or if it's the mud or if it's they've done it for all tracked vehicles. Again there, it doesn't really feel like stuck, it just feels like you're skidding on ice, kind of more that end of the spectrum. Rebel Lizzie, that's why I started again, made a video, yeah, how to set it up. Yeah, there's definitely a lot better options. I mean, it's kind of hard mode, but if anything, it's sort of a better mode, like Game Plus mode, where you can tweak various things more in your favour, and in a good way. Like, I wouldn't even say it makes the game, like, it probably does technically make it easier, but who gives a shit? Having sand quarry radiuses everywhere is how the game should be anyway, really. Especially as, like someone said, if you got a scalper, the point of that machine is to kind of like, you load stuff into it and it sieves it all out and whatnot, and you end up with sand. So in theory that should, like, it shouldn't need to be like next to a sand quarry. It's sort of supposed to be its own sand quarry. Oh yeah, at this point it's best to just drive along the edge of this building. Something just stopped me again then, I don't know what it was. Looks like whatever it was, it just caught the semi-truck as well. I couldn't see a tree stump or anything. Typical. And the manual gearbox. Bill Ray, that's the oil, the second one. Yeah, sorry, I just saw your previous comment as well, that it say like the first one was fine, but the second one... Yeah, hopefully when I deliver this, it'll unlock... I just need the destination of that mission to appear, so I can like finish the AI route. So it'll set them off. Like, what are you playing it on? Are you on console or PC? Because I was just going to say, I don't know what, like... It worked on my other playthrough. So hopefully it works on this playthrough, but... I don't know what the pattern is or why it's... yeah, I don't even know, like, if there's a reason why it's not working on certain, like, again, maybe consoles, but I can't really see it being that, because the amount of people that said that mission's glitching, I don't really think it's just exclusive to, like, one thing. Zach, hey guys, greetings Mr. Wolf, how's it going, dude? Good to have you joining us. Rebel, hey Zach. Bill Ray, I'll press start plotting. It should let you do it. I'll go back and check in a sec. It might have been because I'd already maybe half drawn the mission. Oh yeah, I may as well just drive it with this semi-truck out. Again though, get yourself a loaf. It's goddamn professional. Made that mission a lot easier. Because yeah, this semi-truck just hasn't got a hope in hell. There's a loaf doing a moonwalk. What's he up to? What does he know? Get to the railway. Yeah, but where's that mission game? I'll try again if I can do it. Ah, start plotting now the dot's there. Right, so obviously they're going to get stuck, but... Interesting, it's not looking good. So they might be glitched on this playthrough for me as well then. Weirdly, it's sort of made it green. Doesn't that imply that it's done it? I can't... It's not letting me cancel it though either. Completed requests. Nope, not that one. I wonder if that sort of glitches it. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I can't turn the route off. Or like adjust it or anything. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll tell you what I'm going to try and do. Hopefully it doesn't end the stream. I don't think it will. I'm going to try and quit and reload. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but... I'll press the Windows button. I right click on Roadcraft. That's at the bottom of my screen. And click Close Window. And it'll turn the game off. The stream might go black for a sec, but I'll just relaunch the game. But that's how I kind of quit the game without it saving. The stream is still black at the minute. It should come up in a sec. It's just, yeah, so that's good. Do you know, I wanted to try that out anyway, just to double check that. On the PlayStation, if I wanted to do that, it'd just automatically end the stream at the same time, so I never could do that. Sorry, I can just see finishing up Quebec. Rebel. Bike, what till you get to Washington? You'll love it. Or wait till you get to Washington. Bike New London. Hoping the newest update will solve the expansion map problems here, and then I'll come back to Roadcraft and finish up 96% and 93%. Oh yeah, because there was another bug, wasn't there, on contamination? Oh, that's what I'm on OBS. Press any button. So I've made it up to 74%. I mean, if you've already, like, this mission's glitched, and you've waited long enough, it's probably saved the game since then. So I don't think this method will help. It might have saved the game for me when I did it just then. I didn't really look, but in theory, now I've quit the game without letting it save. When it loads back up, that AI route shouldn't be drawn. So let's get to the railway station. But yeah, so obviously I won't finish it off. Delete entire route. Yeah, so we'll leave that for now. It's weird though that it went green. And I think it actually added it to like the completed missions. So I wonder if it's not a fix per se, or maybe that is the glitch. That it thinks it's already completed the mission, so it doesn't even send them. Because it's a one-time route, so once it thinks it's completed, it shouldn't keep trying to send, you know, like just repeatedly sending them. I wonder if that's the bug. Not that that really helps, but that would explain potentially why it's not sending anything. Well, I'll carry on with some of these for now. May as well get to there. I mean, at this point, I may as well just get back in the links. I was going to bring the loaf. I think I will need the loaf at some point, but I'm going to go for a jump. Hopefully, it doesn't bite me. Oh, well, it didn't help hitting that fucking rail. Worked out alright though. Oh, I thought I tracked it. Rebel, come up to 67 videos on Washington. Billy Ray, or Bill Ray, sorry, I'm playing it on PC, yeah, so it's not that, well, it just appears to have done the same to me, but I don't know if that's because I sort of jumped the gun and just drew the mission then before it's given me the mission. But I'd imagine probably not, considering so many other people have said they've got the same glitch going on. But yeah, I could be wrong on it, it's just that the fact that the box turned green, which is sort of implying that I've completed it. And I wonder if that's why it's not sending anything. I'll have to go through my footage, and I should still have like the last X amount of hours I played on this game on my saved videos, so I should be able to look what happened when it worked normally for me on my normal playthrough. It might even be in the video I edited, but I don't know if I would have, like, I might have just edited that bit out of it. Oh yeah, it was that pain in the ass. I remember last time I sent in the loaf. It worked out pretty nicely. I wonder if there is though. Let's have a quick look. If there is a way to get it out without... Because I just got the loaf and dragged it up that hill. It does appear there is technically a road around there, so I might just be able to drive it out. As long as it doesn't get its chin stuck going up here. I was thinking about it. Yeah, you might just be able to drive this out then. Well, yeah, because I mean, once I was up to here last time, it was kind of the same route back anyway, so... At least that's a bit easier. Brightly London, I like to finish each map 100% and clean up all my trailers all over the map. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm probably not as much with cleaning. Well, if you're on about SnowRunner, I do leave quite a few trailers out on that. But yeah, as far as completing 100%, like just sort of going back to this game with the glitches being on like the DLC maps that everyone's like a few % off completing it is a bit annoying. Nice turn in there. Bill Ray, yep, that's the same as I got. Yeah, it's a weird one. I wonder what does trigger it or why it doesn't do it all the time. Oh, there you go. That is actually like the infrastructure route now anyway. So let's see then. I'm tracking it. I mean, again, I don't know, strictly speaking, like, I think people built a road to there. Maybe went up there and over there. But I just really don't like this mission in general. I don't really know of any good route to get to this point. I mean, for a start, the whole thing's kind of beached on its own little fat island that's raised up. So there's only really is that bridge over there. So it'd have to be down there really, but I don't know, do you just start smashing it through the trees? Like, yeah, I was going to say it's a semi-truck, so it's going to get stuck instantly anyway. Or I assume some people went to that building and probably built a road across there. We'll see, I'll probably do that. But yeah, in general, not just because of the glitch, I just don't... I think this is a pretty badly sort of thought up mission anyway. I know it will most likely get stuck, but even having like these notches in the middle of the road, it's going to make it a right awkward bastard for the semi-truck to turn that corner and then that corner. And I'm going to need a bridge layer. Another one, which I can't even... Oh no, I've got 124. Oh, so there you go. This time it's spawned it. And again, doing the same thing. It's catching on that gate. But it, yeah, like you saw there, it sort of bounced itself off. I don't know... Like, the mission's shown up this time rather than me jumping ahead with it. I also clicked track the mission before I started laying the route, but again, that's just a pure guesswork. If that's means anything, like it probably doesn't. Yeah, well, I don't know then. I suppose I may as well get a whatchamacallit. Where's the... Oh, typical. So you can't even get a... Like, you're going to have to keep going back for sand. Yeah, for some reason, when I'm coming in the garage, I don't know if you can hear it on the live stream, but it now sounds like some crackly feedback in my headset. Which almost sounds like the mic or the... Something's gone funny with the audio. But then when I go back out the garage, it'll just stop. So it's obviously not anything like with the game, but I don't know if... I don't know. It's just a bit weird. I've never heard that before or noticed it. Yeah, now it's gone. Rebel, if you'd buy off-road trailers, you can leave them as free-range trailers. Yeah, exactly. Gotta let them roam. Makes for a healthier trailer. That's why, yeah, so I don't tidy up my trailers really on a SnowRunner. But I understand the concept of, like, you want to get everything nice and neat. To be fair, when I first started SnowRunner, I did. But then just making videos, I was kind of running out of time. So it was just quicker to leave trailers here, there, and everywhere. And then it became kind of... I almost got fond of the amount of trailers I left everywhere. Because then it reminded me of all the different missions I'd done. But yeah, I do like... I mean, especially on this game, like, tying up all the loose ends, getting every map to 100% and all the rest of it. So when you're not able to, it does kind of kill it somewhat. I mean, again, if they're planning on you coming through this way, you've got various unkillable trees that just makes it... Like, you know, even if you build a road that way, you can't kill the tree, so you're going to kind of have to go round them anyway. Might just knock the trees down while I'm here to actually figure out what route I'm doing. So yeah, it's a weird one, like, with that glitch. I mean, funnily enough, it kind of worked out quite nice, because I managed to get the glitch to happen once, where it didn't let the vehicles appear. And again, I don't know if quitting and reloading specifically had anything to do with it, but that at least got me to have, like, another chance to be able to lay the route. And then it worked the second time, so it seems to sort of be a bit of pot luck. Or again, unless there's something specific with, like, because I tracked the mission before I drew it, it helps for some reason. But again, that is pure speculation. It might have sod all to do with it. Fucking hell. Went a bit deep. That's definitely what she said. There's that. Yep, you've gotten the same glitch as me. Yeah, it's a weird one, that. Again, I'm just pretty dumb. I just kind of assume they would have patched and fixed that by now. Can't believe they haven't. Or like the fact that you can't just click reset the mission and have another go at it. I mean, the glitch I got the other week with the trees sort of not disappearing, so I couldn't get past that mission. If I didn't quit and reload, with that I might have ended up getting stuck on that bit. It was only because I quit and reload and it kept sort of loading back sort of 5 or 10 minutes, well probably not 10 minutes, loading back a few minutes where it's I had a chance to like knock the trees over again. So yeah, there's definitely too many bugs in this DLC overall. Or even if there's not loads, like whatever they are actually game breaking. Again, I don't mind bugs if they don't ruin the game. I don't mind if it trolls you for a few minutes or whatever. But it's weird, like that tree I found on one of the original maps where like I was able to launch the loaf. They seem to have fixed that tree, which again, it's like that's a random bug to fix that wasn't really harming anyone. And they seem to have got that fixed. But then big actual game-breaking bugs like the AI route not spawning. And yeah, they've not got it fixed, so... as they did a bit with SnowRunner, they seem to have got their priorities all a bit messed up. I mean, SnowRunner, again, there was various bugs they didn't fix, but they did fix stuff like the Cat 745 thing. It used to be able to carry, like, 2 lots of single cargo, but then they fixed it, quote-unquote, broke it, more like. So it only carry, like, a cargo container or whatever. Which was, like, a very unnecessary patch that no one asked for. And the Cat 745 thing wasn't that useful to begin with, and then that made it even less usable. Don't really know if there's anywhere nearby, like, could bring the scalper just so I don't have to keep driving, like, that gap, basically, but the scalper could just as easily waste an hour and not do anything anyway. Bike near London. Personally, I love the concept of actually fixing the roads anywhere I want. Yeah, same here. I do like that about this game. That's like, I would like to almost see it in just about any game, but not as literally like part of the game. Just the concept of being able to build roads anywhere you want is pretty cool, I think. And again, there's a few ways they kill it. Like now, for example, I can't reach the sand quarry without keep reversing, and the scalper will be a twat to deploy. But other than that, when you're in areas where the either the scalper will deploy or you're just within the range, yeah, I do like the fact that I can build a road wherever I want. I mean, even now, I think I'm building it where some people suggested to do so. But yeah, the fact that it's like a completely different road to what I did last time I did this mission. And obviously in theory I could pick, kind of go any route I want really. But I do think with this mission in particular, it's a bit poorly designed, like, I don't know, it just seems overly awkward, but for no apparent reason. Rebel, all in the name of science. It certainly is. Bike New London. I can't wait to be done with Quebec. The routes are so bad, even when all the road repairs and bridges fixed. I assume, is that on SnowRunner? There is sand there. Might be able to bring the scalper, but again, I don't have that much more sand to do in theory. But nonetheless, this game would still be more enjoyable if I could just refill the sand wherever I am. I don't even care if that takes like the concept of scalpers and all the rest of that out of the game. I still prefer it that way. I think adding that option on like the hard mode is a good idea. Bite New London Lone Wolf, that is the glitch on the Nicole Avenue tunnel job. Returning to the game has not fixed it for me. Yeah, I don't like... I didn't have long to test it, because then I ended up like quitting and reloading. It seemed as if, one, it was completing the mission, but as well, for whatever reason, it wouldn't offer me, like, I wasn't able to then re-click on it and do, like, you know, like, move the points or clear the route, etc. So it seemed to, like, just have me forced, like, it's stuck on the route I drew and that's it. But again, because I quit and reloaded, it kind of loaded back up to just before I finished drawing the route. And then, yeah, thankfully, for whatever reason, it seems to have worked the second time. But I'd imagine for basically everyone who's come across that glitch, you know, they probably didn't quit and reload within, like, a minute or two of finding it. So it's sort of saved now, where they've already got the route drawn and all the rest of it. So, yeah, it looks like that one's just going to need a patch, really. And that's all I could suggest, which isn't ideal, but if anyone that hasn't got that glitch yet gets to this point and it does glitch, sort of... Or, yeah, like, don't click on the mission until you've seen, like, the game save itself. And then do it, and then if you do get the glitch, at least you've got time to, like... Yeah, essentially, again, just force the game closed. Like, I don't want to pause the game and click, like, quit to main menu or whatever, because then the game will actually, like, save the progress. So, sort of force quit the game. And then, yeah, I don't know, it appeared like it did it the second time for me, but for all I know, I could quit and reload it, you know, 50 times and it still doesn't work. I might have just got lucky. There is a patch of sand there as well, so in theory you could bring the scalper. I probably won't now because I got most of the road done, but if I was going to do this, like, take a bit more time building it and whatnot, I probably would bring the scalper, since my garage is only over there or over there, whatever. Not that far away. Binding London, it shows one-time route uncompleted, but the achievement isn't satisfied. Yeah, and again, that's what it seemed to do for me. Just say it's completed, but obviously it hadn't ever sent them, so it's also not completing it. Which, yeah, the fact that it is a one-time route and it's saying complete, I assume that is the glitch. Like, it thinks it's done it, so it's just not sending any more vehicles. Well, that's what it thinks. Obviously, in reality, it's not even sending one. But yeah, because it's a one-time route, it'll assume once it's done, it doesn't need to send any more, so now it's just kind of, like, soft-locked itself. I'm gonna say, tree, do you wanna fuck off? I mean, even the fact they put that pile of shit in this corner, and then they expect a semi-truck to get down here. Just got pretty slim to none kind of chances. I'll most likely end up just pushing this semi-truck with this bulldozer or something, or bring the loaf over and see if I can just winch to it or something. There he is, throwing cat, oh, there he is. I could hear him somewhere. Justin Lynch, going to bed. See you guys. Yeah, I appreciate it, dude. Cheers for popping in and enjoy your night. I could have done really, but I sort of couldn't be asked. But to bring a mulcher and break that tree out of the way would be kind of handy. Might actually be worth doing because it does kind of cock block a pretty nice route. One good thing is it appears at the top of the list. But it's rarely this vehicle you need. It really wasn't the main vehicle they needed at the top of the list. I mean, I would recommend the Loaf personally. Bill Ray, yeah, it's worked. Congratulations. Yeah, it's weird. Like, I don't. Again, I didn't even notice it last time because I just kind of coasted through it and it worked. But it managed to sort of demonstrate that it is glitched, and I don't really know why, or what would trigger it, or how to get around it. Other than I did the quit and reload. But again, I might have just got lucky. Zach Wolf, when you go back to SnowRunner, are you going to pick up where you left off or jump into the newest phase? I'm not sure, to be honest. That's why I'm kind of sort of not waiting until 17, but probably waiting until it's a bit nearer that, because, yeah, I don't know whether to... I don't know. Like, part of me sort of thinks just pick up where I left off, but then the other part is, like, the newest seasons, you'll obviously get a vehicle, or you seem to on SnowRunner, unlocked with each season. So, in theory, I could jump ahead and unlock some of the missions. You know, like, unlock some of the newer vehicles. And then, I don't know, yeah, that's what I'm actually not too sure myself. I think I might go and get one more sand to smooth that a little bit out. Yeah, so I might end up doing a bit of both, to be honest. I might sort of roughly start, when I go back on, like, start from where I left off or whatever. But then, yeah, probably, like, jump forward, maybe unlock some of the newer vehicles. And then at that point, that's why it's sort of like, if I start, in theory, a bit nearer to when 17's coming out, and then when 17 does come out, I may as well start that anyway, because that'll be like the new latest one out, and then after that, if I end up completing like 17 before 18 comes out, I can go back to the previous ones and just sort of carry on chipping away at them, and do it that way. I mean, the semi-truck will probably moan about this anyway, because it's not a fully paved road, but it's probably as much as it's going to get. Because I sort of can't really be arsed bringing the paver and the roller. Unless it really forces me to. Oh yeah, shit, I'm going to need another bridge layer. apparently they made it to there last time. Did pretty well to get that far. Although that might have been the, I think it sends like a mule or whatever before the semi-truck. Right, again, I've not got too much hope of it making it, but it's already moaning before it's even got the trailer on there. Oh my god, now he's going to hit the tree. A bit of a sideways boost. Oh, tosser. That's him dead. At least it got the green line a bit further. But that's about it. Where's the other guy ended up? Oh, fucking hell, he dropped my hammer. Good for him. It's a shame, actually. If I blocked him, or if he crashes off there, it probably would have set the green line a bit further up. Oh, that's not good. Do with this guy kind of overtaking the semi-truck, really. Again, I still need to bring a bridge layer, so... But if I can at least get the green line to the other side, at least that's like the hassle of getting the semi-truck across this sandy bit done. In theory, once it spawns on like tarmac or whatever, the yard on the other side, the semi-truck shouldn't get stuck just on that alone. I wonder if, I doubt it, but for science I might just have to see if it will work. If I let the semi-truck just drive off the bridge, there's a tiny, tiny chance that it'll set the green line kind of over the other side. I mean, the semi-truck can't even drive up here, it seems. To be fair, it goes around that corner pretty easy. At least this, when you're actually here, it is quite a wide road. It's not as quite as bad as it looks in the bird's eye view. I was going to say, the problem is it doesn't properly listen to the line, so yeah, it's going to cut that corner and hit the lamppost, although it does still get round. The truck's actually kind of pushing the trailer around, which is probably not a bad thing. That is, though. Ended up killing the semi-truck. That's not too bad anyway, but I wonder if you draw like a dot here and a dot here, wonder if as it falls off it might catch that dot. Let's find out. Now, going wobbly as fuck. Yeah, so at least we've got the green line up to here, well, up to there, so this should spawn on the bridge. Oh, well. I mean, he did. Might have to set it back a bit. See what I mean? Because he sort of bumped himself forwards. No, got the green line to there. Didn't quite jump the gap though. Why does he keep flying around? Calm yourself down, sir. Come on, Dukes of Hazzard style. Yep, it did get over to that side. But now if I spawn them, they're probably going to spawn just in that gap. Oh, well. He got his ass up. See, now it might spawn the other one. And even if he gets stuck, but it might now bridge the green dot to there. So he'll quit in a sec. But then when I respawn them, they should spawn here. So I might even be able to get away without buying another bridge layer. It's looking good. Uh-oh. Why'd you have to ruin it now by just spawning in the bridge? It was so close to working. Well, they might die and then I'll respawn them. And it'll work. But I mean, again, in fairness, I am kind of taking the piss out of the game in its own right, but that's glitching in the bridge. It's the only thing that's balls in this planet. What a pain. I could do with the vehicle this side to potentially nudge them. But getting a vehicle over to that side is a pain in the arse in its own right. What happened to the thingy I had, the links? Oh yeah, it went up to the railway station. It was going well. I don't know if this will be the best vehicle to take, but I went to scroll down the menu and it's doing the thing where the menu's kind of really slow, so instead of scrolling it all the way down for links, yeah, I think they might have changed the mud. I don't know. I ended up getting stuck on like the bit of sand where I get to my road, but I've driven through here multiple times in this vehicle whilst it's got cargo and all sorts, and it was driving through this bit of mud quicker than this. I wouldn't have gone this way if I'd known it was going to be this bloody slow. So I'm wondering if they've like tweaked the mud to make it even more trollish, which is the opposite of what they should be doing. It's already way more annoying than it needs to be. Snow running, you can just fire off winches and at least pull yourself forward a bit quicker. I don't really want to go that slow all that way. Let's just try it again, you never know. In theory, it's jiggling around, it should potentially pop out, but no, my luck, it won't. I can't really move the dot either, because if I do, it'll reset the red line, like to back here a bit. can see like the wheels of the Azov are just phased through the bridge, which is harsh. God's sake, menu. Again. Bite near London. I've smashed into about 5 or 6 big trees on SnowRunner, expecting them to fall. My plan, or my plaid, didn't like it. Yeah, I bet I'll do that quite a bit myself, because I get more used to it on this game. I mean, there is still unkillable trees in this game, but they usually are the gigantic ones. Yeah, I remember SnowRunner's a little bit more nuanced, with like some trees that easily look like they should be killable are absolutely solid. Rebel Quebec is phase 15. Oh, fair enough, on SnowRunner, yeah, so I don't think I've been on that one yet then. Rings more of a bell for some reason. Bill Ray, it'd be nice to see you finish this map now that it's working. I missed it on my save. Yeah, I don't know if I'll get it finished tonight. There's not crazy amounts left. Just depend, like little things like this mission being a troll. I technically I got it over there, but then yeah, now it's just gonna screw me over. So I'm probably gonna have to bring a bridge layer after all that, but it's little things like that that delay getting to the end of the mission. I was just wondering if I could fire a winch to it. No. Oh, I'm gonna attach a winch. That got me. I just needed to jump off because I needed to get over this pipe, so I can now climb up this side. There was a bit of method to the madness. Try and pull it from this direction. That's what she said. No. Yeah, pretty good. So, like, now it's got one set of rear tyres that are popping out the ground, so in theory it's still a bit of chance to it. I wonder if I park where they spawn. See how he's got one tyre is sticking up, which is more than it was a minute ago. It's still not enough. And he's wedged in there pretty good, because ramming into him is making no difference. It's a shame, really. It was a pretty good workaround, like getting the green dot to slowly move forward. It would have saved, and it's a one-time route, so I'm going to have to get a bridge layer just for a one-time route. What a bastard. Not that I'm gonna, but I was just wondering, is there like a big, you know, like them big concrete sheets you can pick up? If there's anything like that that you could lay over the bridge, but I don't think there is. I'll now cancel it. Right. I might be able to brute force it. It's not having it. It looks like the semi-truck would go, but when the semi-truck spawns, I think it won't drive forward because it thinks that truck's in the way. Not that it would probably make the world of difference at the minute, but I think the... Oh, it's done that weird camera thing again where nothing shows up. Yeah, well, there's not really a lot I can do other than buy another bridge layer, which means I'm going to basically be out of money after that. The annoying thing is, especially because it's a one-time route, so what I could do really is like take the bridge layer over there, lay the bridge, get the route done, and then get the bridge layer again and just take it back. I'll have to sell it and lose a bit of money, I suppose. I think it takes 10% or whatever it is. Yeah, it's a bit of a pain again for a one-time route. If it was a route that was gonna like have to do 30 trips, and obviously you keep getting paid out a little bit each trip that makes it, at least that would justify it somewhat. But as a one-time route, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Especially that I actually managed to wing it and get the bloody vehicles across there. Makes it even more annoying. If I wasn't doing a live stream, like, I'd sit here now for the next few hours trying to figure out how to get that Azov to spawn out the ground without me having to bring a bridge layer. But since I am on live stream, I can't risk just sitting here for the next 2 hours faffing around with that. Rebel, WS6900 XD and Freightliner DLC is worth getting, but the 69 is shit, but the SE fixed that. I might already have them, I'm not sure. Some of the names ring a bell, but yeah, it's just been a while since I've been on there, so it's a bit muddled up on what's what. Zach, they just released a new DLC for SnowRunner Dragon Wagons pack. Looks like an awesome set of trucks. Fair enough, I'll have to look actually, because I suppose I should be able to see that from Steam then. Again, I've not even been on the computer like the entire week because my nerves in my face were hurting. I haven't really done much of anything. So what I'll have to do is like edit the line and just move that a little bit, and then yeah, reset it to there. Which, do you know, I was just gonna say, is that thing gonna start flying around? And the answer is yes. Last time it kind of flicked itself back on the bridge, but see, I think this game, like, the glitches have just made this mission 20 times longer and more of a pain in the arse than it needs to be. What a knob. Right. That's the one. Now he's stuck on that stupid fucking yellow curb they put along the bridge. So his wheel was just hooked on that, so he couldn't turn to go back to the middle. Like, again, this is the sort of shit where it's like they really don't think the game out as a game. Like, simple, obvious shit that you would just not have yellow curbs on the bridge that I can't really help. And now we're basically back to square one. Fucking god, man. I wanted to keep the bridge layer nearby because I could theoretically grab the bridge after it's fucking done. But nope. Game's gotta make it happen the long, shitty, boring way. And yeah, this is why, before I even tried it last time, I didn't go this way, and I just built my own ramp up there. It was basically, this was what I assumed would be the sort of bullshit that would happen. And I avoided it completely, and I'm glad I did. Just get off that curb. Still managed to get stuck on the bridge anyway. Going to get stuck, his front wheel will get stuck on the curb. I actually got off that time and get over the bridge. But now this guy's not turned enough for the corner. He's kind of, as that truck started reversing, it sort of wedged me against that red tank thing. And what I was going to say is, like, you see how this vehicle's cut in the corner too sharply, but the exact same vehicle that spawns next to it is not turning the corner enough. So long story short, they're not listening to the line I've drawn. Or even if they are, both vehicles behave differently. That one's cutting the corner and that one's overshooting the corner. And yeah, this is a good case in point on how the game can just go from like good to a pain in the fucking arse. Over really, they're forcing us to go over this bridge, and the vehicle's glitching in the bridge, and then now it's just being a twat even getting around the corner. Neither of those things are really something we can reasonably help, because it's the AI vehicle driving, not me. So yeah, now I just have to sit here and trial and error a dot on the floor until they make it. Oh yeah, it's also, yeah, it's even more insulting that it was just to build that shitty crane that can't quite reach the flare stack things anyway. So yeah, that's built this crane, and there's the flare stacks over there. it's at the end of its track and it's at the end of its boom length and it can't reach them. And at this point, a normal crane will reach. So this big yellow crane is just generally a waste of time. May as well move it back out of the way, but yeah. I mean, I'm basically just going to bring a normal crane and then reach over and do them without this thing. Which this will reach, but there's not much point now if I'm going to have to bring another crane just to move those things in the background, like 4 foot forwards, and then this thing would in theory reach. Another example of a sloppy designed mission. I'm going to need, I don't know where the other ones are, but I'm just going to have to recover one of these. Sorry, I just got a cough a minute, I'm just going to move the mic away. Bill Ray, yeah, move the dot. Yeah, but that's what I was like, just in general with the AI routes. It's a good example where like the Azov was cut in the corner, but the semi-truck was going wide on the corner. Yeah, just leaves it like a little bit to chance. Obviously, yeah, just sort of got to keep deleting the dots, moving it back a bit, but eventually it got there. But the point being, like, it's not a very fun. Not sitting there going like, oh, you beast, the game got the better of me this time, I'll have to move the dot again. Like, it's not very exciting, it's just like, game, stop being a twat and get the vehicle to drive where I told it to. Zach, I saw it only has an A rating on power to weight. I would have got it if it had an S rating. True, I sort of vaguely remember that. Some of the vehicles that have got an A rating are still pretty decent, but I know what you mean. I remember like S rating kind of the seal of approval. I probably will cash that bridge back in. Well, I don't know. To be honest, once I've completed this map, I'll probably leave it as is. But I was going to say, I'm going to leave it there for a bit, because obviously now I've not got my other road leading up to here. That's basically my new route to this little section. Make me pick it up again, but again, my game just told me it's these ones and then it jumps back over to that one. And then yeah, at this point there's not really any point in switching over to that yellow crane. Damn. At least it actually reached from a fairly high distance without making me lower the crane all the way. What are you doing, crane? I'm not telling you to go up. Be awkward, right? It shouldn't really make much difference, but moving it over, it might gain 1 whole extra inch. Obviously, it's proof that them inches are pretty important. Why, the crane keeps trying to lift itself backwards like that, but I'm not. I'm only holding triangle. I literally have it on video that I did this last time, and it was not this awkward. Just get on the fucking thing, you knob. Part of the annoying thing is, if I could retract the cables a bit more, so I could get it nearer the edge of the crane, like the tip. Like, I can get near enough, but then it goes lower, or I can get it high enough, but then it moves away. And then it flashes green for a split second to really cock tease me. See, if this mission wasn't a troll and the bridge didn't glitch, I already would have been like probably building that road in the background, already have that done. So this game can suddenly waste like probably an hour more than it needs to. Now game. It likes to make a meal of it. Oh shit, wrong button. Don't know how well we're getting out of this. Very. Wonder if it can reach from here though. Blocks it so it's red. Absolute troll. I mean, in theory it would reach, but it's not letting me rotate. Oh, it is now. The crane. I just can't lift any more of the cable. Don't know if I'm just getting unlucky. Again, I have it on video. I did this mission pretty damn easily last time. It just reached and got there. Wasn't any hassle. This time it is. Right. I'm not using that other crane. I will persist. Oh, I went to the wrong base. Base do we want? Forest, that's the one. Go back. Shall try again. I wanted to take low gear off. Yeah. Well, an hour-ish ago or whatever, there was a slim chance. I think you cursed it, Bill Ray, when you said I want to see you complete the map. It took a swift nosedive to being like, nope, he's definitely not completing the map. I think, what is it? There's building that road. I've already got the crane unstuck. The road's a bit of a troll though, because the sand quarry radius doesn't cover it. So that'll end up taking longer than it should. But I can't be that far off. And yeah, I've got like, it's the right crane. It's the one with the most reach. And I even backed the crane up as well, so it's got like the most chance of reaching over. Yeah, I'm gonna make handbrake actually fucking work this time. Right, well those crane legs are as close as they could possibly be. I know this is the different one. I'll just get this one done and then I'll see if I can even reach over for that other one. No, my luck, it'd be too far away. I was going to say, that's last time. That's just how it went twice. Pretty simple when it wants to be. It takes ages to lift it up. I think it rotates cargo quicker than it lifts it up in this game. Why is it being such a dick on this one? They're both the same distance away. Trollish bastard. In the end, I just dragged it like along the side, so it's what I had no choice but to flick up that last little red fenced section. Yeah, find the lost stat. Yeah, it was somewhere down here, wasn't it? It was in that pipe. Oh, there it is. Scan from here. Nope. Does now. In fact. Getting over that pipe, that's going to be awkward. Make it even more awkward, to be honest. Changes the winch point, but it just keeps kind of swinging itself. Yeah, that's what I wanted, in theory. But it's still not got enough oomph to get it over anyway. it stalled? I assume it has. It's not letting me. It's not driving the wheels for whatever reason. I'm gonna say it didn't look like it should be stalled. Probably will now though. Get off the wall. Can you reach anything with a winch? Can you do something, game? I can't reach that. It's my lucky day. Fuck it then. We'll bring the crane after all. All I was going to try and do is drag it over to this side, just so I could reach it with the crane from here, instead of going over this bridge, basically. But apparently game says no. So I've got one last secret weapon is I can ping the crane legs out. My final defensive manoeuvre. Oh, we're already pretty much here anyway. Probably won't reach now, but we'll find out. Should, yeah, that's it. Almost tipped the crane then, just because of this. That's a shame, Rebel. I just love the way the giant truck looks. I'll probably still get it. I might have seen the truck you're on about. I did see a thumbnail of some vehicle I've not seen before on... I assume it was to do with SnowRunner, but again, I didn't watch the video. I just sort of saw it as a thumbnail. It did look pretty cool, whether it's useful or not. I mean, I'll end up getting it anyway, really. I've got, like, every other DLC on SnowRunner, so... sort of be rude not to at this point. Let's move this stupid yellow crane out of the way. And again, I probably could use it to reach, but no. Yeah, in principle, the crane doesn't get to have a go. Is it because I've not got the mission tracked, maybe? Oh, what? Got to take it over there. And then I assume it's going to make me bring it back. Because I definitely remember doing the mission where I put the third one on there. And then fire came out the top. I think what would be easier. We just may as well drive this, to be honest. Annoying as it is. So you go, my little route kind of jumping over that wall was at least more of a direct route. But at the minute, I may as well really just go over that bridge, along the road I've built, back to the main road, down like the other road to the warehouse. Seeming like it's going to be the... yeah, quickest option really. One where I probably won't get stuck. Let me know how I handle looking good and being able to cook are two things. Luckily I got a good look at and a cook. It's hitting the jackpot. I did see a video the other week and there was a woman on it that said she didn't know how to cook beans on toast. It's like, how can you not know that? It feels like if you went back in time to a caveman and said, here is a cooker, well, here's fire, here's a saucepan, and here's a tin of beans. I'm pretty sure he'd figure out how to heat the beans up. It's almost more impressive to make it to adulthood not knowing how to warm beans up. It's got to be rarer. A lot rarer than people who just naturally, I don't know, saw someone else cook beans, aka warm them up. Shit, swerving off. Remember, it would have been quicker to build a concrete bridge over the gap. Yeah, but then I'd have to go somewhere to buy the concrete. To get the slabs, that's where it now makes it take a lot longer than I would like. But I know what you mean. If I had the slabs, it definitely would be. Oh yeah, so these are the missions left then, so... yeah, God. I want to load more stuff. Deliver vehicle, yeah, I don't mind doing that one. Oh yeah, and then it got stuck there. At the last second, I remember that sneaky bastard. And then repair that. Well, I'm definitely not going to get them done today. In which case, I might set off with this, but I might like move in the vehicle. But in that case, I might attempt to get this vehicle over here, possibly get it stuck. I might bring a bulldozer or something over, but I was going to say I might stop soon because there's no point in getting like almost every mission done, and then in theory have to do another live stream for like one mission. So I may as well. I know after I've done these missions, it'll ask me to build a road over in like this corner as well, sort of along there. But in that case, I may as well save it for one final Roadcraft live stream, really. We'll have a go with this. Again, I'm pretty sure you can get it like 95% of the way, and then the water suddenly gets really deep and drowns the vehicle. But I'll see, I might be able to squeeze around the edge. That's the plan. Sounds good. Bill Ray, no, that mission is a pain in the ass. I need to delete it completely. Yeah, that mission, well, it just feels not very well thought out. Again, with like the semi-truck having to go around those corners. In the end, that actually probably wasn't the most trollish part of it. But to be fair, I did basically ram the semi-truck most of the way there. If I didn't do that, I imagine it would have got stuck a hell of a lot more. For the love of chins. saw a video of that plane crash the other day that happened in America. It was pretty nuts. Pretty bad for the pilots, where like the engine fell off and then it clipped that building and then kind of, yeah, crashed. Sort of swerved to the left or whatever and hit the ground. It was pretty bad though, because there's like a thing with taking off where, I think it was called V1 or something, where it's like the point at which you have to take off because there isn't enough time to slow the plane down before you reach the end of the runway. And it looked like the engine pretty much came off as they hit that V1, so they had to kind of drop the hammer and try and take off and hope for the best, which obviously didn't go very well. And yeah, I think the entire engine fell off as well, didn't it? Which is pretty rare, but yeah, pretty much worst case scenario for them. They got pretty screwed over on that one, because it's not even pilot error. It's just like, if it happened a few seconds earlier, I assume they would have slammed all the engines down into, like, turn them off or put them in reverse thrust, whatever they do, and abort the takeoff. But just because it passed the point where it's like you have to take off, they tried to go for it. Sean Z, bro, what's wrong with that giant crane right beside you? I just don't really like them, to be honest. And to be fair, last time I did the mission, I had a crane like I just used nearby, and the mission just worked fine. Took me like 30 seconds. Because the thing that annoys me about that big crane is those two flare stacks, you can't quite reach them, which means you have to bring a different crane just to move those two flare stacks nearer to the big crane, which just feels like stupid. It's sort of a bit of an insult that I've got to bring a different crane to pass them to the big crane anyway. So at that point, I've already got a crane nearby. But unlike, for whatever reason, this time it really was not wanting to accept that flare stack in the middle. Yeah, like the video I made of doing that mission, again, took me 20-30 seconds. And it's sort of the controls are left faffy or whatever on like the normal crane versus that big crane. But yeah, that was more the reason. If it could reach those flare stacks, I would have used it. But it, I don't know, kind of negates its own purpose of being there. Because yeah, you have to go and grab something else to move the flare stacks like 2 foot closer, so that that big crane would be able to reach it. Which I think is a bit stupid. So at that point, I was just being stubborn and purposely not using the crane. But as I said, last time I did it, the normal crane just reached over completely, like, took a matter of seconds. So I did actually get that there. Where does this thing want to go from? Oh yeah, up there. Problem is, again, I'll drown when I get to that bit. Unless I can also cut through the trees. Sorry, I'm just going to check quickly. These are cable layers there, yeah. There's not anything else I've got to connect up. There is that, but it never actually asks you to do that for some weird reason. Yeah, I just didn't want to recover it, and then it turns out I could do with it back over that end of the map. But I think we're all good. Right. Oh yeah, forest base. Zach, what's a proper English beer? I saw Boddington's at the store, but wasn't sure if it was any good. Boddington's not too bad. I've had that back in the day. John Smith's. That's a bit like... I've not had one for a while, but that was pretty good back in the day. We have a lot of like European lager on that here, really. So like Carlsberg and Heineken and all that sort of stuff. Foster's, but it's Australian. Stella, French. Yeah, I assume John Smith's and that, and yeah, Boddington's is like an English one. You've got a lot of like, I don't know, you know, like they'll call it like the Vicar's Elbow. It'll be like, it might be nice, but I couldn't say. They're like very small niche companies that'll make a run of beer and come up with some random name for it. But yeah, it's one of them where it's like they're quite small production runs, shall we say. So, one, I've not really tried them that much anyway, but I mean, like, you don't necessarily see the same brand out like the entire time. They seem to change names quite a lot. I'm going to see if I can cut through the forest for a bit of this one, because again, it's just that bit of water ahead of me. One last little patch of it is too deep and it'll drown this, and then because of that I'll have to bring stuff that will lay a road. But the sand quarry doesn't cover here, so I'll have to keep driving back over there, or maybe bring a sand quarry. It might deploy next to that pile of sand. But in theory, if I can cut through here, just whether I can get through the big unkillable trees. Obviously the other trees I can kind of ram out of the way. That's making me turn left. Right, move it again. I mean, I made it through a minute ago. There's bound to be a route. I've just, again, I've got to find, like, avoid the unkillable trees, so this big fat scoop at the back can make it through. Oh, isn't that tree stump? Might be an awkward bastard. We'll see. And the worst one, it's like a half-dead tree stump. They're quite hard to knock out the ground because they sort of sit low enough that you can't catch them that easy, but still high enough that they catch your vehicle. At least like the ones that look like fresh tree stumps, they normally sit high enough that you can at least push them sometimes with the bumper of your vehicle. Yeah, so that way helped anyway. That just cuts out faffing around building a road over that section of water. And the rest of this, I mean, again though, you'll see now it'll probably do it. Like the road I'm digging up now, it's digging up, but it looks like it could just as easily say it's a rocky surface. And I'm sure at some point near the end it does start randomly saying it's a rocky surface, but you can never really tell why. It's just the game's obviously programmed, it knows where the rocky surfaces are, but there's no way we can fully know. So it's just a bit of blind guesswork, really. Which again, if they used like all that terrain scanner, if that could tell you if there was rocks under the surface or whatever, so you could plan the route around them, they could have made it a bit more detailed in that sense. A bit more like you control it, not just fingers crossed like now. See what I mean? It just says, oh no, surface cannot break the surface. And this is what I have to keep doing, just let it jump forward a little bit each time. Oh, this time it's thought about it. Bill Ray, sorry. That's all good, dude. I think I jinxed it when I tried to avoid getting a bridge layer. Tried to save a bit of money and it bit me. Oh, for fuck's sake. See what I mean? It's like, what am I supposed to do about this? Other than just keep watching that thing fold up and down. And then it does another little red patch. It might be alright now. I remember it was just, yeah, that patch back there a bit. For no apparent reason. was a bit too much of an eager beaver. Oh, we got something built. Rebel, your volume dropped. It's a little harder to hear. It might be like the mic slowly flexes away from me. I don't know why, it just naturally does. Why did it build that, but then the line's gone back to being red? Yeah. Abandon it in the trees. You live here now. Cable layer, enjoy. Yeah, like I said, I might call it a day there, because I may as well save then the last few missions for one final live stream. Finishing it off, because I know building that road again, because there's no bloody sand quarries over at this area, makes it a bit of a troll. I think last time I spawned a scalper with the loaf, because I had the loaf over this side. And yeah, you can see like that patch of sand there. I sort of just drove the scalper up the hill, and thankfully it did deploy somewhere around here, which at least got me like, you can then start the road off and that gets you to somewhere around here. And then I had to kind of manually keep going back a bit, get it fixed, whatever. It's a bit of a troll, but I kind of, you just got to make sure the sand pile is high enough as well, so that when the paver goes across it, none of your road is underwater, otherwise it won't lay the paving. But I kind of know all the little quirks to get round it, so that won't take crazy long, but it's still going to be a good half an hour or more. And then the other missions. Yeah, repairing the pipeline. I may as well just go and buy 4 pipes, really, and drive them like 1, 2. I think there was one along here somewhere. 3 and 4, so that's not too bad. Let's build the route. Restore, oh yeah, pumping station. So yeah, more shit to buy. So yeah, I may as well save that for another day. Goddamn horse. There he is. I don't know why his engine was off. Probably saving fuel. It's goddamn professional. Yeah, I'll quit to the main menu and just see what percentage I got up to. Must have got fairly decent, because I think even when I quit and reloaded earlier with that bugged AI route, it said 77%. And I think I started the night on 55%, so I imagine it's got to be over 8, yeah. So you got like 33%, basically a third then of the game, of this map done tonight, in theory. And what is there left? Well, it says 6 infrastructure routes. I don't know how accurate that is. Oh yeah, I think that's lying, but what was it? It ended up being like, I can't remember the last mission. It was like fixing the pipe counted as one in. Yeah, in fact, I think that's it. Each pipe, and I've got 4 to fix, counts as one infrastructure request. So that then it'd get it up to like 22, and then there is probably 2 of the routes I've got to draw or whatever. 5 more objectives, and all the side objectives are done. That's the map fully uncovered anyway. Again, I'm running pretty low on money now. Still, yeah, we'll skip that one for a bit. I've just mainly got to do barrels on that one, and I can't really be arsed spending an entire live stream moving barrels. Yeah, all the rest is looking good. Bill Ray, off to bed now, looking forward to the next stream. Hopefully will be next weekend. Yeah, it should be, yeah. I didn't want to skip last weekend, like I say, it was just sod's law. The, yeah, like the nerves in my face were kicking off. And it was a bit of a bad one. Night Bill, volume back. Yeah, sorry, I think it's just the mic sort of creeps away a bit. Bike New London, okay, I'm back. Had to help my operator. My operator's jammed up this problematic 30-year-old steel banding machine. It sounds like you've got a busy night ahead of you. If it's already problematic as well. Rebel, I had my Heine tonight, 1 a week. Yeah, again, the Heineken's not bad. Like I say, John Smith's and that, I did like back in the day. You get like a little widget in the can. I remember that, but they're alright. I'd say they're decent. And Boddingtons, I've definitely had that before. And that's, I wouldn't say that's bad either. I can't really think of any of us, like I said, other than like you get these weird English beers that, like I say, are called like the Vicar's Elbow and the Witch's Nose and all this weird stuff, but they're just like very limited rum ones. But a lot of people say they're nice. And I think it might be like the same company that makes a lot of them, but again, each batch of beer they make, they just end up naming it its own thing, but they might only produce like 1,000 bottles. Which obviously doesn't... You don't see them compared to like John Smith, Boddington's, Heineken, etc. Bite me London nonsense, he'll drink Strongbow. True, I've definitely drank. Good thing about Strongbow over here, I don't know if it's the case these days, but when I was a kid, Strongbow's cheap as fuck. You could buy like a 3-4 litre bottle of Strongbow for like £1.50 or something just ridiculous. It's like you probably couldn't even buy 4 litres of water for £1.50. Yeah, so it's so ridiculously cheap that every teenager... yeah, I know it sounds bad, but I already can imagine, and I know the taste of drinking Strongbow and then drinking so much of it you throw up, and you throwing up. It just tastes like cider. I still have flashbacks of that from many, many litres of Strongbow that I've drank. Well, there's another one, White Lightning. I think that was another brand that ended up being like some really dirt cheap cider that tried to compete with Strongbow. And then there's a cans of drink. What the hell? Special Brew. Oh shit! Don't like if you ever see Special Brew, get it if you want to for the memes, but that tastes like shit. But for a beer, it's like 8 or 9%, which versus like Foster's is 4% or whatever. Special Brew, like that's what the homeless people drank, but they're also like homeless, probably crackheads that didn't even care. They'll drink bleach. But yeah, Special Brew it doesn't taste nice as a drink. But again, as a teenager, because it tastes like shit, a lot of shops would have it, but then they'd sell it dirt cheap because no one would buy it. But then we'd all buy it because it was dirt cheap and 9%. How it works out. Bite me London, once again, Mr. Wolf, we will appreciate you putting these videos out. Yeah, cheers, man, I appreciate it. I like doing them. Again, I was pretty disappointed that I had to miss last week's live stream. And again, I'll get back to videos of some sort. I've just been chilling to like mess around on some other games. I actually played a bit of World of Tanks Blitz. I finally bought every tank. I still had a few to go, so I bought the rest of them, which is good because they're updating the game at some point, and I don't know if I'll like it once they've done it. But worst case, I've had that game for like 11 years, so I just wanted to get every tank finally in the bag, and I have. But yeah, obviously last week, because of my face hurting and that, I didn't even play any games, but I was planning on just having a little mess around on some other games. Whether I make a video on them or not, I don't know yet. And then I'm going to go to SnowRunner, and obviously once I'm to SnowRunner, I should be making like some pretty regular videos again. Rebel, have a good morning, mate. Yeah, you too, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, like I say, I'll call it a day there, but yeah, cheers everyone for popping in and hanging out and all the rest of it. And yeah, enjoy your morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are. I'd like to say one way or another, I'll be back soon, up to something. Just once I've got something I can make a video of, I'll be back. But yeah, until then, like I'll do a live stream as well next week to finish this map off. Yeah, take care guys, and I'll be back.